with things like her clocking into work and pings, I I have a hard, even with what I believe with Anadarko, I have a hard time believing that that could
believe
have
in
been
what?
suppressed.
Yeah, they checked it. Is that what you mean? I don't know what you're saying. What are you saying? I missed the beginning. I'm sorry. You're saying that what?
I'm saying even though I believe that Anadarko did try to shut a lot of things down and keep it quiet
Oh,
for
do
the
you have a
sake
hard time?
of
They
the
couldn't. They would have
shareholders.
just gave that. They would have been able to easily say
Yeah,
yes. Like
that
that would be
that
such
was
an easy investigating. Real
yeah,
quick, let's just prove where she was. That ping's a little weird. She deleted those messages. Let's just make sure she went to work.
right.
What time? Let's just make sure. Like it would be so simple. I mean, I really think they did because they were suspicious enough to like get her phone. Like they're like, that looks weird. You deleted him, so they were enough to like at least be comfortable enough to be like, okay, I don't think she had anything to do with it. Yeah, should they maybe looked a little harder if Chris wouldn't have confessed and take that the whatever. Yeah, I mean maybe, but I think they were happy enough with what they found out, like the basics, which would be where was she the time of the murder? Where was she that day, that morning? That's like the most basic thing that they go to first. Where were you? Were you at? Can we put you at the scene of the crime? Where were you? Where, like that would be stupid if they didn't. So I really think they did. They just
And they did botch a lot of things up, and they did, but the 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 dogs, the dog lady. There's a lot of things that come to mind when I think of things that they,
oh
messed
the
up.
dog yeah. Are you talking about like how they botched it? How it was like they didn't? Yeah, they hired the wrong
Hired the wrong
people
lady.
to do that because she sucked. She was so
But
sweet though, but she just didn't. She
yes,
wasn't in like touch with her dog. Like I feel like there was a lack of like understanding what I don't know. Something was off. The guy was pretty good. That guy that did the dog, he even explained, like it was a little bit of a something, but he didn't do his final trained alert, which I don't think any of them did. But I don't know why that dog was barking. I don't think that was what they were trained to do. But I don't know. Maybe she just didn't train him good enough. He shouldn't have been. I'm not sure because I think the train don't they sit down and like look or something. Like he said that they didn't. His dog didn't do it. Remember? He said there's a little bit of something here on that rug or that thing down the basement. But he said he never did his final trained alert. The guy, remember? Are you? I feel like you're looking at me like I'm crazy.
no, I'm
That
not at
guy that was
all.
just in it for a minute that came down, he brought downstairs and he said there might be a little something here, but he never really did his final thing. He didn't like do his alert or whatever they call it. That's what he said. Okay. But
Okay.
his dog was for what? Cadaver? And hers was for like trauma and right? His was like a cadaver dog, right? And then
Well,
hers
I
was
thought,
for the other thing to like where what's the other thing called where they sense like a trauma happening there or
oh,
like
really? I thought she had a cadaver dog as well, but missing, okay, I didn't know that. First time
oh,
okay.
like a trauma dog, like it could sense that something happened there, like that kind of. Because I know I'm pretty sure his was the cadaver. Well, I guess it would be kind of this. I don't know.
No, you're
They had
probably
different
right.
things. There were two different things. His never did the final alert. He said there's something a little bit that's bothering him here, but he never did the final trained alert. He says it right there. It's hard to hear, but I even did a video where I did subtitles to point it out. This is what he's saying. Because if you're just watching it and it's real soft, you might not hear it, but that is what he said to her. He said he never did his alert, but there might be something here. He's a little bit uncomfortable with this here, but he never did do his train thing. Okay, but
I
her, I
believe
don't
we'll
know.
be
Hers was a mess. She didn't even know what he was doing. The dog was confused. I think. I don't know. I don't think
I
that dog was
know.
trained right.
When I think something was off, like maybe she's because I thought she's like not famous, but she has done a lot of cases and she's worked a
Oh,
lot of
really?
scenes. Yeah, and in Colorado. And so I thought, oh, she knows her stuff. No, yes. Okay, moving on. My dogs could probably sense trauma right now. They're sensing it.
They're on high alert. Oh my god. Oh
You
no, I
guys
never
sense
had
it?
Don on. You're right, Michelle. No, he never came
Oh,
on my show.
Michelle.
Wait, somebody was trying to say I had him on? Tell him you're not a liar. He
Michelle.
never was on my channel. No. Good job. Okay, so let's start this, guys. You guys ready to
Mhm.
start the interview?
Let's get
We're
into
gonna pick
this.
what we picked off. So we picked off at 56:12. We picked up or we stopped at 56:12. Okay.
Let me remind you guys again, one thing. So we need to develop a baseline for Nicole, which is hard to do because what kind of videos do we have of her? We have her like talking to Chris, or but that isn't really baseline because she's talking to a lover in a very short video. There'll just be a couple of times where we probably need to watch it a few times. Well, I personally need to watch it a few times to really be able to say anything with 100% accuracy or as close to whatever I can get. But one thing for sure is that, and this is what we were talking about last time, Nicole Kessinger with her right hand, it was her right hand, right? We're looking at her, yeah. Did I say yes? Her right hand, with her right hand, is where her like negative space lies. So when she is, where's my right hand? When she's mentioning, because you guys, StreamYard is, you don't even know. Okay. If you thought TikTok was bad, StreamYard is weird.
Because it's reverse, but it's not reverse. It's weird. Yes. It is weird. At least like with TikTok, everything's backwards, but this is like reverse, but it's not backwards. I don't know.
So, yes, sorry. I mean, it's really, what's right, what's that? Okay. So with her, when she's doing things with her right hand, you will notice it's usually negative feelings. So that's a very interesting thing I think that we saw. And we couldn't figure out if she might have Tourette's. We don't know. We know she had or Chris had said that she was bipolar. So because
we were just talking about that, because I'm not sure if it's the pixels, because if she's really twitching as much as it looks like there's something wrong with her. But I'm not sure if some of it's just the pixelation is making her eye look like it's twitching. I don't know. Like, I'm just talking about like the twitching part. Now that part, those are real, but if you look at like some of the other ones, it's constant. So I don't know if that's the pixels or not. And that's why I haven't pointed out all of them, because somebody commented like, she's doing it all the time. You miss. No, because I don't know. I'm not so sure if some of those other ones are the pixels or if it's really her doing it that often. So I don't want to say for sure, but yeah, if that is, then she might have something going on. I'm not sure, unless I don't know. Go ahead. I interrupted you, I think.
No, I think that's, and we have to keep in mind she's tired, and what you want to ask yourself coming into this, try to leave your preconceived notions at the door. We've heard the audio, right? We've heard the audio for 3 years, and it's our first time seeing. We probably imagined what she's doing in certain situations. I know Tiff was talking about that last time. I think even like 3 minutes in, we were just like, what was she doing when she said Wednesday or this or that? Okay. Also keep in mind, what are her motivations? These are things you want to ask yourself. What do you pick up of her motivations? Is she there to exonerate herself? Is she there to help with the investigation? Is she there to help exonerate Chris? Because it's an interview, it's not an interrogation. She doesn't need to be there. She could leave at any time. And watch her father as well. He has a lot of digital indicators with his hands. I mean, that's basically all we could kind of see too. But he does seem to have, on certain things, like start really picking at his fingers. So watching it a few times, it'll take a little bit of time. We'll be able to try to develop a baseline and then go from there.
Yeah, good point, Hurt Locker. And Kay says to go back, to be honest with you, so you're lying the whole time before. Good comment. And then Allison, no, because you remember the scent dog, she's the one that brought it. I'm pretty sure his was a cadaver because he left after that then. So why would he have left? You know what I'm saying? They did the scent. Are you talking about like when they went and they searched the neighborhood and stuff? They did that after. That wasn't his dog. I think I'm going to have to disagree. I think it was a cadaver dog he had for some reason. But I don't know. I'm not saying 100%, but that's my opinion. I'm pretty, or I don't want to say I'm pretty sure. I think. What do you think, Bella? Do you remember?
Did I freeze?
Because if it was a scent dog, wouldn't he been the one taking it around the neighborhood? Yeah, and it wasn't. It was one of her dogs that did that.
Unless that's another big mess up by Frederick. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, let the scent dog.
But I think
go.
they
But
even
yeah.
say when they're doing it and they bring hers down and then they said, okay, bring in the cadaver dog. Isn't it? Don't they say that? I don't know. I have to watch that again. The whatchamacallit. And I think even in the Discovery it says it. There's a reason why I think it. I think it's because it even says in the Discovery. I think they say it in the on the body cam or something. But I don't know. I'll check into that. Let me write
Yeah,
that a note
check
so
it
we could
out.
I could so don't you guys don't know for sure. Just my opinion. I do think it was a cadaver, but I'm gonna check into it,
Don't
guys.
quote her yet.
Dog cadaver. Okay.
Tiff has forgotten more things about this discovery than most people have read about this discovery. So it don't, but the main thing is not putting out false information. She doesn't want to do that. So everything will be in our opinion unless it's like, oh no, this is actually true. So yeah, because rumors start like so easily, guys. You all know it. You've all been here for at
That's
least
why,
a
yeah, it
week.
gets so frustrating when like yeah, because I mean the creators have a really big responsibility because I know a lot of you guys that's you get your information from us and you trust us, you learn to trust us and you get your information from us and so you just believe us, right? So it's a lot of responsibility. So just creators need to be careful when they say this is a fact or this is just my opinion or I think or make sure if they're not sure, well I think but I'm not sure, or this is just my opinion or this is what I think, but instead they'll put it out as fact and then people pass it along and it's actually not true. A lot of it, I've seen so much false stuff, but I don't know. I try to be careful. I'm sure I've screwed up here and there, but I try to make a point to do it that way. Okay, so yeah, she does have bipolar. Yeah, that's what Chris said. And somebody did see that tape. I think it was Amanda said she was one of the very few that caught that. So she said she had caught it but then it left.
Wow.
So I guess it really was on YouTube, and then NK probably took it down right away once this whole thing happened, like soon after. And Wolfie Marcellosi, nope, haven't seen her in shoot, probably like has it been like almost a year or like 5 or 6
Not a
months?
year.
Oh, okay. Maybe like I don't know about maybe like 5 or 6 months at least, probably I would
Yeah,
say. So yeah, I
I
think
hope
about five or
she's
six months
good.
since I've seen her. And Baron, nice to see you. I got your text. I'm sorry I haven't responded yet, but I'm thinking about it. And Billy Madison, one of my favorite movies. I saw that freaking like 5 times in the movie theater when I was in high
You
school.
love
And I
it.
actually was so obsessed with Adam Sandler in that movie that I went and I asked them if I could have, because they had a big like cardboard thing of him for the movie. And I asked if I could have it. So can I have that after you guys
You
are
guys are
done?
done? You
They
guys are
said
done with
no,
it?
though. They wouldn't let me have it. So
Someone
no, I
already
couldn't get
did.
it. So I'm sorry. Ending of the story is boring, but I do love that movie. Okay. And
Adam
then
Sandler, if you're watching, can you just send one to
I
Tiff?
don't like him that much anymore, though. It
Okay,
was like I
never mind.
really liked him back then.
You missed it,
I feel like
Adam
he kind
Sandler.
of sold it. I don't know, but no, I used to really like him. And I
You're
loved that
old
movie.
now.
That was one of my favorite, like back then. But now his movies are like, so I don't need you anymore, Adam. But I don't hate him. I don't hate him. I don't like him as much as I used to. I should say. Okay,
Does
and
it
then
have
one
to
more.
do with you not getting the cardboard?
No, I still like because it was not his fault.
Well, no, I would blame everybody. I'd
No,
just be
I
like, it's
still
your
loved him.
fault.
I
Your
watched all of his movies after, but then it slowly, like maybe as I got older, the movies got more like, not as funny, or he just didn't get as funny. But they're all
Uh-oh.
right. They're not horrible. I feel like his earlier movies were a lot better. So he's good. I like him, but yeah,
YouTube critiques Adam Sandler. Let's do it.
I
Screw
like
this
him.
NK
No, I'm
stuff.
sorry,
Let's
I
just watch
do.
Billy Madison
He's
and just
he's just you outgrow things
no,
sometimes.
I agree.
Did she call or text what about proof where you are and when she asked for the lyrics of Battery? I don't see her where she made those calls. No, and that's why I think he was lying. And I think that's why they were so surprised when they asked him, oh, when did she do that? Because it isn't in her phone call. So I think he just lied. I don't think he was either he was misremembering it. He looked up the lyrics of Battery that morning, but I think he either lied or misremembered. And I don't think she asked him that day. It wasn't that day that she asked him about him. I think she asked him weeks prior, or they talked about it somewhere, maybe on the phone about Battery. But he did say that. He said that in the interview, which I think is false. There's no record of it, but he did look it up that day. But there's no record of NK asking him about it. No. So I think they probably maybe it was just a phone conversation or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we wouldn't know, but not that day. But I think he lied. It wasn't that day. And maybe he did lie purposely because he wanted it to look like, he didn't just randomly look that up. It was because she asked him that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of weird. If you look at the lyrics, and it was right close after he murdered his family. And then you look at the lyrics about killing your family. So he wanted to probably give himself an excuse why he looked it up. That, yeah, she asked me about it. Yeah, she texted me that day or whatever. No, I think he's lying.
And he doesn't even know it.
What?
It's like, I don't want to go down that road, but
Wait.
like, he doesn't even know what the lyrics actually mean. I'm not even a Metallica fan, guys.
No, I know. I looked into it afterwards.
Yeah.
But you got to remember,
No,
that's
I
not
know.
how they wrote it. That's not what they meant by it. But you have to remember, everybody perceives it different. So if
I
he
know.
perceived it that way, then that's what it means to him. That's
I
all that matters.
know.
And most artists will say they don't even want to tell you why they wrote it. They want it to be art, like whatever you perceive it, that's what it is. So it doesn't matter what we think. I did a video on this, giving like different things of what it could mean, how they could have perceived it, because that's all that matters, how he perceived it. So it doesn't
I know,
matter
but he
what.
was a fan of Metallica, so he should have known what they meant by it.
Yeah, but
He was a fake fan. He was a
no,
faker.
but I mean, it's still,
The
if you look it
the
up, it's
squirrel
still
says-
like you could still, I don't know. I think, I don't know. I think he took it a different way. I think she took it a different way, and who cares? Like, I think it was one of those things that it gave him, like, I don't know. Like, we're not going to go into this. I did talk about this before, and yeah, well, maybe we could do another video on it because it is getting, unless you want to talk about it.
No, screw Metallica even.
Yeah.
My opinion, only my opinion.
I know, and I wanted to play because everybody's like, play it. I'm like, yeah, right. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, right.
Metallica.
Ugh. I roll.
Okay.
Yes, the squirrel is very upset with Metallica as well. Did you hear the squirrel commenting? Just there it is. Very upset with Metallica. Hates Metallica. See? Agrees.
Wow.
Every time I say Metallica, that squirrel is very.
Wow. I mean, do you want to talk about it though?
I actually do not want to talk about it. Moving on.
But I just say you just got to remember that it doesn't matter whatever he feels listening to it. I think, because think about, I don't know. I feel like there's some songs by some of my favorite bands that I never go as far to look up what it means, what it meant to them. I just freaking love it because what it means to me. You know what I'm saying? So I think it could be a thing, right?
I would be mad if I like Metallica and Chris did that to Metallica.
Oh, heck yeah. But okay, so
I'm going to name that squirrel Metallica. He doesn't knock it off.
Yeah, do it.
I was waiting for that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's get into it, guys. So we have the precursor of feelings at the door.
What's that?
We have let's try to leave our feelings at the door no matter how hard it is. And let's try to view this as like kind of a new case. We know the background of what happened, but we don't maybe hate her as much as it's hard. It's hard. Okay, that's how I'm doing it. Everyone can do whatever they want to do, but
no, do it. It's very important because don't let that cloud, your hatred towards her cloud, you watching this with like an open mind and watching it objectively and not letting those thoughts and it's hard. It's impossible to completely do that. I don't care who you are. Yes. You're always going to bring a little bit of it in, but just try the best you can.
Yes. And remember, her right side is where her negative feelings lie. And let's see how that plays out with the words she says and where she keeps those things in her memory, right? Like, so we have from last time, from last time we have her with wife, baby, divorce, and other stuff being what? And the interviewer, the Kovac didn't ask her to elaborate on other stuff. What is other stuff? So so she keeps a lot of her negative stuff on the right side.
Yeah, they were
Okay.
harder on Troy McCoy in the interview than him. You know what I'm saying? Or than her. I mean, but I don't know. Okay.
Yes, and that's a good point, Tiff, is also keep in mind that this is her in front of her dad and two males. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying there might be a little bit of flirtatious energy going on here. Um, okay.
I don't see as much flirtatious as the other video, probably because her dad's in this one. I see more of it in the other video that we have than this one. Personally, so far, I haven't got to watch all of it, and I think it has to do because her dad's in this one and he wasn't in that other one. But remember, so this is the second one. The first one was the day before, and the day before is hold on, let me just see something real quick. I'm sorry, you're probably like, let's just get on with this. Hold on, I
I'm
just want to see
fine.
something. Hold
I'm
on.
just chilling. You guys, while we're doing this, go ahead and put a thumbs up if you can. You can take it away later. I'm kidding. No, you can turn it into a thumbs down if you want, but to let everyone know we're live, because it really, really helps. And anyone who's not subbed, and I think we were at like 50% not subbed, go ahead and sub. It's free. You'll find out. You don't even have to hit the notification, but you'll find out in your sub tab.
Oh, I was gonna do a sub chat today. I forgot for the so that you have to sub to me. Maybe the next one.
Okay.
I just remembered as you're
You're
saying
so
that I was
nice.
gonna do that.
Doing a sub chat, but yeah, you guys, it's completely free to sub, and you'll thank me later.
Yeah, and so okay, so remember, yes, the day before this is when Chris confessed. This is the same day that they did the interview in the park. She didn't know yet. That's when Chris was in his interview, and he was doing the polygraph, and he was going to confess that day. But so she didn't know the first at the park. That's before she knew, before he did it, and then this would be the day after. So she had just found out. So remember, just yesterday, she just found out this guy she's been seeing murdered his whole family. Okay, so
Do you see Gailey's name now?
Gailey. Wait, is Diana here? I have to show that quilts video soon. I have to do that shoot because we're gonna do the giveaway. Okay, let's get it started. Maybe I'll do it at the end. Okay. Let's do this. You ready?
You build your life. I'm gonna build my life. We will intertwine them, but I am not ready to do this. And he respected that. And I even said that, and I don't know, that might be in the text, but said that too, where it's like, Chris, you need space. You're just getting out of a divorce. Personally, I think jumping into a new relationship is a little quick. It's I was in a relationship earlier this year, and I think this is also a little quick. And I'm so why don't we take our time? And I'm if you guys end up doing a week on, a week off with your kids, I'm
ask you which one, do this way or this way? Which one is better? Can you not hear me?
I was just thinking, are we covering Kobach when we are down there? I guess it doesn't matter if we.
A lot of the times he's covered anyway.
Yeah, that's good. Leave it. Yeah, the other way is better because she's bigger.
This way? Okay. I'm gonna rewind it a little bit because I was preoccupied freaking wanting to figure this out. Okay, is that all right?
No way, please do not. I have to watch it. If I want to get any insight into this, I'm gonna have to watch this, I feel, 4 times. You think I'm looking forward to that? I'm not.
I know.
I'm hoping I don't. I hope I'm just not gonna go through with it.
Yeah, it's important though.
Research.
I feel like just for actually I started this 2 minutes before I was supposed to, but we'll just start it from here. It's all right. Okay.
Frederick, it's going to be by your kid's school. This is the spot, and I told him, I was I'll keep looking for more places, and he's well, there's some that I want to go see too. And he actually had me thinking that he was going to go look at these places this week before all this.
So this is fairly recent then. If we're
this
talking,
just happened in the last.
He's going to go look at apartments.
He wanted me to go with him.
When you say this week, are you saying
this
Monday
this
was the 13th?
This week.
Okay.
Yeah, so I told him, I was we'll pick out a few spots, And if you want me to come with you, I'll go look at them. But you know.
You said earlier that he had never, or that the apartment wasn't for you and him. It was just for him and his children.
Oh yes.
It was. You had no intentions of moving in with him.
No, I have my own spot. I still have a lease there till July, and even then, like, he never asked me to move in with him.
Okay.
And I never tried to move in with him. I mean, I told him. I mean, I really try to take everything with this whole situation very slow. The only part that I screwed up on was the fact that he wasn't completely separated from her when him and I decided to spend time with each other. That is where I screwed up. But other than that, everything else, it was always like, you know, you build your life, I'm going to build my life, we will intertwine them, but I am not ready to, like, do this. And he respected that. And I even said that, and I don't know, that might be in the text, but said that too, where it's like, Chris, like, you need space. Like, you're just getting out of a divorce. Like, personally, I think jumping into a new relationship is a little quick. It's like, I was in a relationship earlier this year, and I think this is also a little quick. And I'm like, so why don't we take our time? And I'm like, if you guys end up doing a week on, a week off with your kids, I'm like, the week you have your kids, be with your children. And the week that you don't, I'm like, I don't even want to see you every day. I'm like, I think we should spend like a few days of that together. I'm like, because I like my space, and I think you need your space. I think you need your space to, like, develop your identity again and, like, get it back, because I think he's just been, like, so wrapped up in this whole thing that he's got in his own life and his life that he doesn't remember probably what it's like to, like, be single or have time where it's, like, just him.
Sure.
And so I was just like, you know, like, embrace that. I think it's a beautiful thing, and I really try to, like, take it smart with all that. And it was the same thing with his kids. I was just like, you know, like, and we talk about things every once in a while where I'd be like, hey, if I ever meet, you know, because, like, I have a lot of house plants. That's a good example. So I have a lot of house plants, and I told him, I was like, one day if I ever meet your kids, I was like, I'm going to show these girls how to, like, paint pottery and plants. I was like, I think they would love to see something grow that they built. I think it would be really, really cute. And, like, little stuff like that, but it wasn't very frequent. It wasn't, hey, we should get married, and hey, we should have babies, and hey, I want to live with you, and hey, I need to meet your children now, and let's cut the mom out. It was never.
That's that part I was talking about where it was. See, that's a lie, because she did pick out wedding dresses. She was looking for wedding dresses. She did say she wanted to have a son. So it is like, hey, I want to get married. Hey, I want to have your kid. I don't know.
Well, look at where her hand goes when she says that. So when she's going to her right side is what I believe to be when she's lying, because that's where she keeps her negative emotions. And then instead, usually if you're going down a line, like what the motion she's making is dot, 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 right? Usually you go in a line. It's very seldom when we're being expressive and we go dot, 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 dot. That's just weird, right? It's not something we do. But if you think in terms of, if your negative stuff is kept here on this side, then when you're talking about things and you're emphasizing things that maybe you're negative about, you'll go here. And then things that are not negative here. So lies, right?
Yeah.
So do you want to rewind it?
I want to rewind it and see, because I'm guessing. If I were to guess, I would guess the married will be on the right. The having a kid would be on the right.
Was very true.
And what else does she say?
Living together.
I mean, I don't know. Living together, I don't know, because I don't have any proof that she wanted to live with him. So I don't know.
And look at what she tells us. She's telling us, that's one thing she is telling us, is the other things I have to have a more of a baseline for her to gauge it. And I don't have a baseline for her. I can watch this a few times. I'm not like 100% expert at this, so it takes me a few times to watch it to get her baseline, so I could see where she deviates from that. But she is telling us her negative stuff is here on her right. So watch it, rewind it, and see.
Yeah.
See what you guys see.
How far do I need to rewind it? Oh, yeah, I should be right.
I'd be like, hey, if I ever meet, you know, because, like, I have a lot of house plants. That's a good example. So I have a lot of house plants, and I told I told him, I was like, one day, if I ever meet your kids, I was like, I'm going to show these girls how to like paint pottery and plants plants. I was like, I think they would love to see something grow that they built. I think it would be really, really cute. And like little stuff like that, but it wasn't very frequent. It wasn't, hey, we should get married, and hey, we should have babies, and hey, I want to live with you, and hey, I need to meet your children now, and let's cut the mom out. It was never like
And
that.
that was,
But that's good though. The cut the mom out was on the left side. And we know, so that fits into what we know. Yeah, she did really want to, she was thinking about marrying him. She was picking out wedding dress. She was thinking about having his son. She was very happy in her apartment. I think she loved her independence. I didn't think she
Loved
wanted
it.
to live, and I don't think she wanted to move in with him. So she's that, yeah. And I don't think she would want to cut the mom out. I mean, for one thing, she didn't want to have all like cut the mom out and have the kid, all like, I mean, she needs the mom to help with the kids, right? So not because she likes Shanann. We all know she has this something against Shanann, but like as far as for a mother, I think she respects her as a mother. Okay, so
Or it's like you said, she wants the mom involved so that she doesn't have the kids
she
all the
doesn't want to
time.
have. She doesn't want that responsibility.
Yeah,
Heck
she's
no.
young. Because she does, one thing I wrote down is she likes her own spot. I have my own spot, left side.
So it does match. That's matching.
It does
so
match.
tough.
And that's why it's important to leave what we, and I'm talking to myself as well, to leave what we have our preconceived notions of her at the door when we're trying to view her with body language or, through different eyes, or just to be fair, right? Because we can get more truth. And the only thing we should be concerned about here is the truth. It's not about something fitting our narrative or how we feel about something. So, yes.
Hi,
Yes.
K-Clo. What is up, girly girl?
Hey,
Thanks for coming.
Yes, it's hard. It's hard to do this. It's hard to leave it at the door, but we have to practice as people with critical thinking skills in the true crime community. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because just because we don't like you guys don't like her, and you don't, there's some things you don't like about her, doesn't mean that you should. I mean, murder is a huge thing, guys. Yeah, murder is like a big deal. Like, it's just because she's capable of having an affair, it doesn't mean she's capable of murdering people. I don't know. Yeah, you just have to try to look at it like Bella said. Hopefully you'll be able to. I know it won't be 100% that way, but as much as you can.
Yeah. As much as you can. As much as you can. I mean, if you want to get to the truth, you don't have to. You're free to do whatever you want, obviously.
That's true. The truth, if you want, because
yeah.
Oh, thanks, Kibby. Yeah, thank you. Hey, Mystery Maverick. Having said what, she is lying through her teeth, and what is her motive? That she's lying through her teeth, and what is her motive? Well, I think I've talked about some of the motive. I feel like, wait, which part are you talking about? I feel like there are different reasons. Like, she's not probably that proud of what she did. There's probably things she said she's embarrassed about. There's things that she said that could probably make her look bad, that she's a little bit nervous because after the fact, it's like, whoa, that looks bad. Lying about to make her look like a better person. Her dad's sitting right there. This is all going to be public. She's aware of how this stuff, I mean, obviously she said everybody's going to know. I mean, she knows how this could turn into a huge thing. I'm not saying it's right, but there is different reasons that she could be lying rather than covering a murder, Okay, so do you have anything to say, Bella? I'm sorry. Okay, you ready?
There was never any conversation about, we can't do this with her around. We can't do this with the kids around. No. He never said that. You never said that.
No.
So the way you guys were trying to make this work was just, slowly trying to come together because of his current situation, and you, by your own account, mine. I mean, you're just a independent person. It sounds like pretty much, yeah. And but through text message or through conversation, he never said, "Hey, this isn't going to be financially able. I'm not going to be financially able to do this," or "This isn't a good thing. I got these kids." None of those conversations ever came up.
No. I mean, he told me like he had a budget restriction. So for his apartment, and I'm pretty sure this is in the text, and this will probably be in the last couple weeks. He told me 1,100 to 1,400 when I was asking him, like, because I told him I'd help him do homework. I was like, you do some homework, I'll do some homework. We'll knock this out because if you guys are for real putting the house up, you got to figure it out. And so that was his budget. And I remember asking him, I was like, you sure you don't want to just get like a house? And he's like, I never thought about a house. I'm like, yeah, you can rent houses, man. Like, it's a thing. And he's just like, I don't know if I can afford that. And I was like, okay. And I knew that those two had been through some financial trouble. I definitely found out a lot more about that situation in the newspaper recently.
Okay, so prior to the newspaper, how did you know he was in financial difficulty?
Because when I went to that house, everything in there is very, 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 very nice. It looks like it all comes with a very expensive price tag. And I didn't say anything to him about it, but I could kind of tell then where I was like just looking at everything like, how do you guys afford this? And then he has that car. I don't even know how much that car costs, but I bet it's
what car is
that Lexus. I'm sure that thing costs like 80 grand, but just like money. Like everything just looked like it costs a lot of money in that house.
You probably have a decent idea of how much money he makes.
Yeah, and it's not enough money to pay for all that. Not even close.
Did you have any idea of what Shanann did for a living or how much money she might have made?
I mean, I had an idea. I would consider her like a sales rep. I don't know how else to describe that. For the company that she worked for. And I don't know exactly how much she made. He said that she was really competitive and she liked to try to keep up with him. He's like, she gets close sometimes. So I don't know how much those two brought in. I mean, off the top of my head, if I could guess, probably somewhere around like 140K a year. I mean, I don't know. Because I don't know exactly how much he makes. And I don't know exactly how much she makes. But based just off of like what I know about the oil field, like, yeah, I would say that's probably an accurate estimate.
So even if they're making, let's just use the figure $100,000, they're living above their means or below their means?
Oh my God, like
way too much.
Way.
Did he ever discuss with you any of those issues?
I mean, a little. I mean, I didn't know about the bankruptcy or any of that until I read on the newspaper about that. But I think he was really frustrated with the situation. He told me, he's like, I feel like my paycheck goes in my bank account and I just watch it go like this. He's like, but it doesn't have to. He's like, she makes it like that. And I was just
was he resentful for that?
I don't know if he was resentful. I just think he was frustrated by the fact that they could be doing a lot better financially, and she, from the vibe that I got, had really bad spending habits.
So she was a spender. The car, hers or his?
I think it's hers.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that that's hers.
Do you know what other car they might have?
Well, I mean, his APC pickup truck.
And that's
it, I think.
That's owned by Anadarko, though, right?
Yeah. But so I don't think they own any other vehicles as far as I know. I think it's just that thing.
And Anadarko doesn't allow him to drive that on his own personal time, right? No. So he's just got one vehicle.
Yep.
And it's a very expensive Lexus. And then they live in a pretty expensive house.
It's a huge house.
Yeah.
I was very taken back when I saw it. I was just like, whoa. How?
And then the fixtures inside caused you to pause.
Everything was just like.
And then you mentioned today you read something about bankruptcy.
Yep.
What did you read?
That those guys filed bankruptcy for a lot of money in.
Who are those guys?
That couple.
Okay.
In 2015. Oh, Shanann and Chris.
Thanks.
Filed bankruptcy in 2015.
Okay. And you said for a lot of money. Do you recall the amount?
No, because it was different in each of the newspapers, and I don't know which one to believe. Okay. So, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, yeah, I didn't know that.
Let's go just back to him and the financial. He tells you he has a concern enough to at least express some.
If you need to say anything, Bella, but God, I think she does have something, because she just went like this and went like that, and I haven't even stopped it. I mean, she's twitching a lot, like like this, and then that one where she just went like this and went like that. So she might have Tourette's or something. I don't know, guys, but it's weird that we never heard anything about it. But I guess we haven't heard a lot about her, though. Nobody really knows much about her, so maybe.
I mean, where would we have heard it, right? Because it's not like
Chris, but.
How well did Chris know this woman.
She had Tourette's. He would have known. What do you mean? Spending all that time with her?
And he's not.
You can't just hide that. That comes out. Like,
Chris doesn't tell us a lot about a lot. Chris hasn't.
No, I mean,
said,
I agree. Like, no, maybe he wouldn't have, but that's possible where we could have heard it.
But we haven't heard from her friends.
No.
We haven't heard from coworkers. So, you know, obviously we haven't heard from doctors, her parents, her family. So maybe she does have Tourette's, because it is a lot happening. And I think and it could be an indicator of stress, right? Because also Tourette's is sometimes even magnified by stress. But that could be a natural thing of being in an interrogation room. She started out actually more closed off. She started out, if you guys remember the beginning of this, the first time we covered this a couple of days ago, she started out like this, you know, hands closed off, which is understandable for where she is. I think we would all kind of be in this closed off thing. And then if you noticed a little while ago, she does this with her right arm, right? It takes it away from the sides of her body, which indicates that you're not as guarded. If you can sit, we've talked about this before on this channel. If you could sit the most comfortable sitting in the world, right? If you could sit like this, you're sitting like that in an interrogation room, you're pretty comfortable. So she seemed at that moment, her legs were uncrossed, so she was open. And then we started talking about Shanann's vehicle. She had been talking about the vehicle, but Kobach asked her who she thought the vehicle belonged to. And her arm came down when she said it was, you know, his wife. Her arm came down and she immediately crossed her leg. And that's a close off, you know, coupled with this is kind of a close off. And she has folded her arms on her lap. Again, I don't have her baseline, but this is reading as being closed off. So, yeah,
Mr. Maverick. Yeah, I could agree with that. So do you think though it could possibly just be from stress? These twitches, it could just be from stress and being tired, right? Yeah.
But it could also be because she has like some kind of thing, like some, you know, it could be Tourette's.
Maybe it is just a little bit of a mild thing and it comes out real strong under stress or something.
Yeah, or that she's tired and stressed, because she says she hasn't been sleeping.
No, and if you look at the days from her phone records, she didn't sleep the night. Wait, what day was it? That's what I was noticing. I was going through it. I'm like, man, she's telling the truth. Because one night she was talking to Chris that would have been the 2 nights before anyway. But if she hadn't slept those days, the one night she was talking to Chris like 2, 3, and then she woke up at like 4, was on the phone again. It was like, so she barely slept that night. And then I don't know if she slept a couple nights after that. Probably not with all this going on. So anyway, go ahead though. Sorry.
Yeah, no, and it is hard, you guys. No matter how many times I hear her criticizing or even having an opinion on this like family that she walked into, like, oh, they spent above their means. It's like, it's irritating, but like, it's so hard when you're trying to gauge what someone is saying with their body language to kind of like, you have to kind of tune out your feelings, and it's hard. Especially it's hard for me because I'm so sensitive to things, and it's probably hard for you guys too. And it's just necessary. But yeah.
People usually, we're not sticking up for her. We're just seeing what we see.
Yeah, we're not. If you were here the first time,
you're talking about us. We're just looking at it objectively, thinking about what is going on here. And if because we're saying, yeah, she's tired, that means we're sticking up for her. Maybe you're not even talking about us because we're just looking at it, trying to look at it unbiasedly. And
we're just analyzing,
just looking at what it is for what it is. She's obviously is tired. She probably didn't sleep very well in the last few days. Just is what it is. I mean, it's just, I don't know, not good or bad. It's just what it is. Really. I mean, all right.
Yes, Kibby. Do that. Look at the father's language as much as you can. It's hard. That's why we're gonna have to watch this a few times, or everyone. We're not gonna watch it together a few times, but individually, everybody watch this a few times because sometimes when you're concentrating on her, you're not gonna be able to concentrate on Dwayne. He does. There are points when I am looking at him where he is like just like getting into his fingers, and when you are under stress, the more you try to hold in your stress, the more it reeks out of you. And I don't know how great their relationship is. They probably, her and her dad, they probably do have a good relationship, but it's got to be a stressful time, whether he's a Freemason or not. But yeah, you guys, you could all watch and tell me what you think about him.
That's a good point, Tony. She may have done some bad things, but Chris did worse. And we attack her way more than the actual murderer, which is kind of weird, but I mean, I get it. I don't get it, but I could try to understand, but I don't know. Chris is the one that at least we know for sure.
And this
Did what he
video is
did.
so new, you guys. And this is something that we've waited for going for like 3.5 years. We've waited to see this video. And so now that we see it, we're trying to do what everyone wanted to do when it should have been released, is look at, her and her words, if they're congruent.
It's not normalized for a female interrogator. Yes, we all wish there would have been a female interrogator, K-Claw.
Yes, K-Claw. Remember that, you guys? Remember that feeling? We're like, why didn't they have put Tammy in there? Like, why didn't somebody would have snuffed this out? Because it does seem like a lot of flirting. When we were when we
not in this, I don't get it from this one yet, but in that third interview, there's a lot. This one, I haven't gotten any flirting yet. I mean, maybe you guys have. I haven't.
I'm more talking about like when we heard it, like when it always, like, I don't know, but to me in the back of, maybe because of the first interview, to me in the back of my head, I was like, she calls this guy like 2 a.m. Like, what the, go back
Yeah,
to 2 a.m.
after that, yeah. But I'm talking about just this interview, though. I don't see flirting.
Yeah, no. But I'm
yeah,
like,
she texts him like real late at night. We could go through the text again, those weird like texts that they didn't release till later. They didn't release those right away. That was like after my third order of Weld County Files. It was added. They didn't do that right away. It was something they added after. But those texts between her and Kevin, and it was like late at night. It was just weird stuff. No, I guess it wasn't weird, but it was just weird at that. But he understood. I mean, it was like, I can't sleep and there's a lot of stress. It wasn't. He was trying to be there for her at all hours, but
it's so weird. It's like boundaries, though, because don't they give her like a victim's advocate person as well? Like, boundaries, bro.
But
like,
that was a woman, and she didn't really, you could tell
that's right.
She wasn't really feeling her.
That's
like she
right.
kind of like turned, like she just turned into somebody else. When she came in, it was like her energy just changed with her compared to, she was flirting it up with the two guys and with the Kevin. I'm talking about the third interview, flirting her up, and then she comes in, it's just like, oh, like it was just so different. Like, whoa.
So different. Yes.
But all this stuff saying it, I'm not saying she's guilty. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying this stuff, but it has nothing to do with murders. It's just, I don't even know. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this stuff, but
no, you should, because it's on everyone's mind. It just factors in. There's a lot of factors. It's a very complex case. It's also a case that's going to be talked about for years to come. It's like how the Manson case was in the late 60s. It's something that this man looked like a normal, loving father and husband, and he was a family annihilator. He ended up being a family annihilator, and in the most tragic way possible, to 3 babies and a wife. Like, it just, and there's no such thing as closure, I don't think, for anybody in this case. I don't think the Watts can get closure. I don't think the Ruseks can get closure. I don't believe in, I don't even think Nicole's ever really going to get closure from this. It's going to follow her and haunt her forever. It's a bizarre case, so it will be talked about.
Yeah. And somebody saying how she was picking out her fingers. Did you notice at the very beginning, and I meant this is actually before you even came on, Bella, I noticed this and I never really stopped it because I don't even know if it's important. It probably doesn't mean anything, but she kept picking. It was always her ring finger. It was on her, I think her right hand she was doing for a while. And then she was picking at the left. So I don't know what she was picking at, but she did that for the first while. She was picking at something. So maybe she has rings on or something. I don't know, but it was like she was picking at something underneath her hand at one hand, and then she went to the other one and she kept picking at it. Probably just something there, but
you know how when you wear rings and then you drive or whatever, you get like calluses where you're like it's like an interesting indicator.
I wouldn't know because
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
I never really wore rings, but okay.
Yeah, so I wonder if she's just like picking at callus. That don't run with that, you guys. I have no proof. Somebody has my dog's name.
Yeah.
Hi, Odin. Odin's back there. Odin, someone has your name in chat.
Aww.
He says you're cool, Odin. Okay.
Okay, you ready? Odin's the best. Okay, I'm gonna push play.
Something to you that he's frustrated with the way she spends, or he's upset with working so hard and never having any money, and she's kind of the responsibility. She's the responsible party for spending most of the money.
I pretty much got that vibe. I mean, he just told me, he's like, we're house broke all the time. I was just like, that's unfortunate. And I asked him, I was like, do you have 401k? And he was like, yeah. And I mean, the reason I ask him this is because if I get in a relationship with somebody, I want to know, like, what kind of baggage that they have. I think that's important if I walk into a situation where I'm like, hey, I have good credit and I have all these things that I've been building, and you don't have your stuff together, like, what are we going to do with this? And it's important for your long-term
You're smart.
thing. So I'm preparing. And so I just asked him, I was like, well, do you have 401k? And he was like, yeah, I do have that. And then I asked him, I was like, I didn't ask him, like, how much debt they had or anything, but I just said, is your lifestyle sustainable? And he was like, no. And I was like, how long do you think that's going to take? He's like, I don't know, but it's not sustainable.
Where did his girls go to school?
I don't know. He never actually told me. Like, when I asked him once, it was like when I was trying to find him.
Mark, I took a note on this. Do you remember earlier she said the apartment was right by the girl's school? So does she know where the school is or doesn't she?
I don't know because can we rewind it? I thought I saw some
How far? During this when she says that she doesn't know? Well, then, yeah, because I think she does know, because earlier she said that she found an apartment that was close to the kid's school and close to Shanann. So now she says she doesn't know where the school is. So I think she's lying here, right?
I can't say for 100%, but from what I'm
This is so crazy because every time I stop from just what I know of facts about the case that she's lying, and I stop to point out something, it's something that you notice because it's matching up with the facts. And then it's matching. You're doing the body language and I'm doing the facts, and then it's matching up, right? Isn't that kind of cool?
Yeah, no, I love it. I love that.
All right.
It's congruent. Yeah. I just thought that she had like kind of a interesting expression.
Okay, so let's rewind it a little bit. All right.
I've been building, and you don't have your stuff together, like, what are we going to do with this? And it's important for your long-term
You're smart.
thing. So I'm preparing. And so I just asked him, I was like, well, do you have 401k? And he was like, yeah, I do have that. And then I asked him, I was like, I didn't ask him, like, how much debt they had or anything, but I just said, is your lifestyle sustainable? And he was like, no. And I was like, how long do you think that's going to take? He's like, I don't know, but it's not sustainable.
Where did his girls go to school?
I don't know. He never actually told me. Like, when I asked him once, it was like when I was trying to find him an apartment, I was like, are you comfortable telling me where your girls go to school? That's in the text too. I was like, so I can figure out what distance from the apartment it is. I was trying to just make his life convenient with, like, him, his ex, his kids, and all the stuff that he needs to do and work. And he was like, don't worry about it. Their school's pretty centrally located, so anywhere in the area that we were discussing will be fine. And he just left it at that. So he didn't even tell me, which was fine. I respect that.
Daycare is obviously very expensive for a 3 and 5 year old.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So
I understand.
did he ever bring did he ever discuss that?
Never.
Okay.
Never. Like like I said, the only financial thing he ever said is just like, she just likes to spend money, like a lot of it. So that was just kind of the vibe that I got from that, and that it was a lifestyle that she liked to live, like very, like materialistic kind of lifestyle.
Wanted to
Like
project a certain image.
Yes, all the time. And he said that was why they got that house too. It's like she wants everybody to think that we live a certain way and that we can like sustain all this stuff. And he's like, and we can't. And I told him, I said, when you're in those situations, why don't you, I'm like, do you like voice your concern about this? And he told me, he's like, when I try to talk to her, he's like, she's really bossy and she usually shuts me out. And he's like, when she does that, he's like, I just let it go. And I was just like, all right. I mean, I don't try to like interfere with how those two interact. But I did ask about it because I'm just curious, because I would never put myself in a situation where someone was like, you know what, we're going to live in this house that costs like double what we can afford, and that's how it's going to be, because I want everybody to think we're fancy. Because I wouldn't do that. I mean, to me, like, I wouldn't put up with somebody doing that to me. And I'm not saying that that's what she was doing. I mean, for all I know, he could have been completely lying about this. He could be the one spending all the money.
Sure.
You know?
This is just what he told you.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's as far as I can interpret it. So I can't be like, well, oh, she needs to do this and she needs to do that. But he you know, he voiced his concern where it's just like financially, I'm in a very.
Oh. You heard a hard.
Because she said, I wouldn't put up with this, with her right hand gesturing away from her. And then she kind of had to walk that back, because she realized that might come off, in my opinion, she realized that might come off a little bit like she might have given him some cues. And so she said, well, for all I know, now left hand, that he was lying to me and he was the one spending, left hand motioning further away from her with spending. And then
but why would that be the left hand saying that though?
Because that's true. She feels that. She feels that part is true, that maybe he was lying to me, but that she did. I mean, in my opinion only. And then you see the hard swallow at that point, right after that, because I think that she realizes that might have come across a little bit like that was, I think, maybe the motivation in this part is making it seem like she didn't give Chris ideas where he could have annihilated his family. And whether that's true or not, she wants that to come across. And I feel that this statement made her a little bit nervous with her saying, I wouldn't put up with that. That's
what I'm thinking. Why she deleted those texts, because she's nervous about how some of these texts could come across. You know what I'm saying? Like little things like that after the fact, it could look really bad, but even though it's not what it is, you know? So yeah, no, I didn't catch that. Good catch. Okay, I'm going to play it again. Hopefully I rewound it enough.
I'm sure.
Because I always end up rewinding it too much, but this time I didn't this much.
Doing. I mean, for all I know, he could have been completely lying about this. He could be the one spending all the money.
Sure.
You know?
This is just what he told you. What's that?
Never.
Okay.
Never. Like I said, the only financial thing he ever said is just like, she just likes to spend money, like a lot of it. So that was just kind of the vibe that I got from that, and that it was a lifestyle that she liked to live, like very, like materialistic kind of lifestyle.
Wanted to project a certain image.
Yes, all the time. And he said that was why they got that house too. It's like she wants everybody to think that we live a certain way and that we can like sustain all this stuff. And he's like, and we can't. And I told him, I said, when you're in those situations, why don't you, I'm like, do you like voice your concern about this? And he told me, he's like, when I try to talk to her, he's like, she's really bossy and she usually shuts me out. And he's like, when she does that, he's like, I just let it go. And I was just like, all right. I mean, I don't try to like interfere with how those two interact. But I did ask about it because I'm just curious, because I would never put myself in a situation where someone was like, you know what, we're going to live in this house that costs like double what we can afford, and that's how it's going to be, because I want everybody to think we're fancy. Because I wouldn't do that. I mean, to me, like, I wouldn't put up with somebody doing that to me. And I'm not saying that that's what she was doing. I mean, for all I know, he could have been completely lying about this. He could be the one spending all the money.
Sure.
You know?
This is just what he told you.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's as far as I can interpret it. So I can't be like, well, oh, she needs to do this and she needs to do that. But he voiced his concern where it's just like, financially, I'm in a very bad spot that I don't need to be in, but I'm stuck in. And that was kind of where he was at. So, but I mean, he was never like mean when he talked about her. He was never hostile, like nothing like that. He just, I mean, very calmly, like, this is the situation. And I think the only reason that he even provided me with that information is because I asked.
Okay. You said something about her being controlling or
Bossy.
Bossy.
That's what he said. Bossy.
In like all aspects of their life, or what? Do you know exactly what he meant by that? How that affected him?
I think he was just saying when he voices his opinion, it's not her. Is the gist of that, which I thought, from what it sounded like from their separation, from them trying to separate, that was a big deal for him, where he was saying that the reason that they don't really get along anymore is because he feels like he's not heard. He says that he comes home from work and he tries to talk to her and she'll just be like, 1 minute, I'm on the phone. Or she'll like scroll through social media and she like doesn't acknowledge him. And he said that he'd addressed it with her a few times and they're calm. He said they don't really like fight. Like they don't scream and yell. And he said he'd addressed it with her a few times and he said it just fell on deaf ears. He's like, she just seems like she's not interested anymore. And I think it made him sad because, I mean, he was like all about his kids and he seemed like he was trying to be all about her, but it just wasn't reciprocated. And I think at that point he was just like, they just kind of like fell apart.
Okay.
Just kind of drifted apart.
Was that your words or his?
What? That
fell apart.
Those are mine.
Okay.
Those are mine. He just said that they didn't communicate very well. And it wasn't in a aggressive way communicate. It was just the fact that they didn't like communicate at all. They didn't talk.
Yeah, they had children and they was there ever mention that he was trying to resolve or save his marriage for the children's sake? A lot of people talk about that. Did he talk about that?
I mean, he told me that he believed that the only reason that those two had still been doing it as long as they've been doing it, 'cause he told me that her and him have had communication issues for about 6 years, where she just seems really like detached and uninterested in like trying to like build something with him. And he said, and I said, 6 years is a really long time for you guys to not fix that, considering they were married for what, 8? I mean, that's like the majority of their marriage. And he said, sometimes I think we just do it for the kids or something like that. I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen these conversations, so I don't know like verbatim, but it was pretty much just like
get you to remember some things.
Yeah, like, but he said it wasn't just him though. He was like, I think she does that too, you know? I mean, and it was like this equal part where they are just kind of like going through the motions, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, when he told me that she was cool with like the 50% everything and just like breaking it off and being really civil about it, it kind of made sense to me, because I was like, the way he made this sound, it wasn't, oh, she's this horrible person, or oh, I'm this horrible person. It was, her and I have drifted so far apart that it's kind of a mutual agreement that this is not going to work.
So in those 6 years, though, they had 2 children.
Yep.
And you said earlier you did not know she was pregnant until reading the newspaper.
Yep.
So that never came up in any conversation. There was no indications that was going on.
None.
He never hinted to anything like that. As far as you knew, he was just leaving her. He had 2 children, and that was the final take on that.
Yes. Okay. I know why he lied to me. He lied to me because if I'd have known that he had a child on the way, I'd have never wasted my time with him in the first place. Like, none of this would have ever even occurred if he would have just told me the truth.
So do you think if he found out that you...
My opinion, that's a lie.
If let's say this week you guys were to go look at.
Why? Because the Twitch she did, or is there something
No,
else?
because of the movement. Because she's shown me the only baseline I can say for a fact that she has is I know that her negative emotions lives on her right side. I know that with her. This isn't for everybody. Everyone has different baselines. I'm not saying everyone talks with the right side. That's where everyone's negative emotions lie. With Nicole Kessinger, that's where her negative emotions lie. So when she's doing this all sweeping motion away from her, it to me is congruent with her not telling the truth. And maybe she doesn't realize it, but she would have stayed with him. And I, in my personal opinion, believe she knew that Shanann was pregnant. Just my personal
Oh,
opinion.
that's the thing. Yeah, because I believe she knew she was pregnant too. Yeah. So then that's
Yeah.
right. That would be a lie then because she was still with them. Duh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she definitely knew. It would be impossible for her not to know. I'm sorry.
So then another thing to be gleaned
But she does
from
do a
this,
Twitch, right? You saw that little thing she
yes,
does, but she does it so much.
so
man.
much. So it might be the intensity of the twitch might be an indicator. So then we have to go back and really study, that'll be like the last thing I do is her twitching because it's just so often. I'd rather catch other things first. That'll be like the last thing I do. That along with Dwayne and his finger digital deflections and digital deflections, especially her. She does do this a lot. All strike. You usually do this when you're trying to press a point, or like think about like when someone's yelling, or you see somebody yelling, or they're trying to point with one finger, and the other finger is always pointing over here. Like there, it's like. But yeah. So but that's kind of her baseline. Is this? She does this a lot, so it's hard to say. But she did that never. And the other time I noticed her do that, it was she seemed to be showing some deception at that too. So I'm wondering when she does that mean deception? So that'll be another thing I'm gonna have to go back and watch to be like, instead of just saying my opinion, like, you know what I mean. And hi Scout. How are you? Hello, mods. How is everybody? Thank you guys for being here. Linda. Thank you, Linda, for being here. TN Cement.
Yeah, thanks, mods.
Mama Mia's Mama Mia. Where's Mama Mia?
I don't know. I saw people talking to her, so she must be here. That'll happen a lot. Well, I'll see people like talking to somebody, but I don't actually see them. She's got to be here because people were just talking to her. Oh, there you are. Oh, yeah. Mama Mia.
Mama Mia. And I know Cement Shoes is here.
I think Cement just stepped out. Did he come back in?
Maybe he's still stepped out, but yes. Hello, guys. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, everybody, for being here in chat. Please do hit the thumbs up as it lets everybody know we're live. Helps the algorithm. And yeah. And sub if you aren't subbed.
Yes. Hey, baby boss. Of course, we got Gailey.
Gailey.
Position. Yeah. We're gonna have to go through this again and watch it because
man,
you can see how much we're already stopping it. Like already, imagine how much stuff. And I'm not even stopping it every time she does the twitching because that would be way too much. But
way too much.
And even other little things when I like notice, I'm gonna have to just maybe go talk to you about them and see what some things mean because sometimes I don't know what everything necessarily means. But I just wish it was a little bit better resolution, so we could see.
Yeah, because I was like, when Tiff first got it, I go, "Are we going to be able to see her pupils?" I'm like, "Are we going to see her pupils?" Because I want to like see the pupils.
No way.
Pupils tell us a lot, and it's like such bad quality. We can't see pupils. We can't. We can barely see if her eyes are open or closed.
That's what okay. I just wish it was enough where we could see like for sure on some of the twitches if it is her eyes or it is the pixels.
Yes,
that's what I wish.
K-Clo.
Yeah, K-Clo's a mod too. K-Clo.
Mezzy is here.
Mez.
Oh my gosh, you guys. So much love for you all.
I don't even see. Oh, there it is. Okay.
See how good she is? That's what I was talking about at the beginning, you guys. That sound effect.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that's what you were even talking about. That's crazy. The first time I do it's what you were talking about. Wow. Okay.
That's your trademark.
Yeah, we can't. The thing is, if I would zoom it in anymore, it would be more blurry. So it's not even. I could zoom it in, but it's not worth it. It's better to keep it at a distance where it's like it's a little bit clearer, because you zoom it in, it'll be like so bad.
Yeah, it'll look like she has like 3 eyes, and then like yeah, it'll be crazy.
Crocheting.
Daddy.
What is the purpose of the live information? The purpose is we're going through the interview and we're just kind of giving our thoughts as we go through it, and then seeing what other people say and kind of just talking about it, discussing it like we do.
Yes.
I'm not a behavior what would you even call that?
Analyst.
I know, but what would you call it? Oh, I guess that's all. You would have I was going a different route with that, but yeah, I'm not a behavior analyst. And so we're just giving our opinions from our experiences and just, hanging out, taking other people's thoughts. So Bella knows a little bit more from just watching a lot of stuff, right?
And
so
reading.
None of us are like actually
experts,
like experts in it, but like she knows more of the language, I would say, like the terms and what it's called and stuff. So, and I just I feel like from experiences and just kind of, you could see us kind of matching up things, but I don't know what to call them. And then she knows the actual, like, whatever. I'm going more like just kind of how it makes me feel and like things I've experienced and stuff. And then she has the correct terms for it. So we make a good team,
I think so. Is Maverick, Mystery Maverick, going? Good night, Mystery Maverick. We love you.
Wait, why do you think she's going? No, she's saying goodnight to Brianna. Oh, okay.
Brianna,
good night, Mr. Maverick. Hey, Miari.
Okay.
Hey, Trish. Glad you made it back. All right, guys. You guys ready? Carol, Brighter Day, Jan. Yeah. Hanging out with Eva. Yes. Okay.
And Brianna. Hello, everybody. Okay. Now we'll go back to this.
The
dogs are snoring.
Oh, it's cute. It's a cute.
The Odin is a snoring. Okay. On and on.
Okay.
Some apartments, and this is hypothetical, but you've never found out that his wife was pregnant. Would that have changed anything? Like you just said, if I knew his wife was pregnant, I wouldn't be in this picture. So if his wife was not pregnant, and forgive me, but if he takes her out of the picture, you're never going to know that she was pregnant, right?
What do you mean takes her out of the picture? Like,
if he murdered her, she's out of the picture. You're never going to know if she was pregnant. If he can get away with murder, you're not going to. I got divorced from my wife. You say, do you understand what I'm saying here? If she's gone,
but this
don't lead.
Hypothetically,
please.
Yeah.
Don't
Hypothetically,
lead on.
if she,
Okay.
you understand where I'm going.
Right.
If you didn't know,
You're leading into questions that are nothing with your.
Wind it to what? How far?
When that whole thing starts, when Dwayne starts getting uncomfortable and asking, and look at, so yes, she could have an itch.
I don't remember where that was at. Oh,
Go to when
she said something that's important. That if he didn't have a child on the way.
Before this or after?
No, that's a good place. We can do it there.
Go ahead, what?
So this is like when we like touch the top of our heads usually, or like our necks, it's self-soothing behavior. It's an adapter. So yeah, and then you're gonna see when Daddy speaks up right now, we just got a little preview of that. She closes off and starts, and this is also self-soothing parts of
Let's see, I just personally don't think that let's say, well, I don't think NK was there either, but let's say NK was involved, and this is what, we're trying to figure it out. Even if she was, I don't think the dad is even aware of it anyway. Like, it's not like she would have told her dad, right? So is it really, I mean, like, what are we going to get from the dad? I don't think he knows anything more than what she told him, right? Do you really think we're going to get a lot of, like, it's important that from
No,
what
but
he's...
this is like such an important part of this
No,
video.
I want to see what he
Yeah.
does too, because we've heard it. I'm talking about
Yes.
in general. I meant to ask this way before, not this part, because I do want to see what he does on this part. But like in general, or is he really know? I mean, what does he know? I don't think he knows anything, and I don't think he's a freaking Freemason. He doesn't have no power. He didn't get her. I think that's all just like a bunch of rumors that went away.
He doesn't. He doesn't have a flying monkey and a carpet.
No, you think nobody's been able to prove it even a little bit? Nobody's been able to show anything. Have you saw anything?
No, I'm messing around. I don't think.
No, I'm serious though. Have you though? Are you dipping your pop?
Yeah, no, it's water.
Oh,
but it would be good in soda.
Yeah, you remember you tried it that day.
I know,
so okay, but no, yeah, I have been wanting to know what he did on this, but I was just making it in general. Like, do you think but I don't think NK did it, but let's say she did. Do you think her dad really even knows? He would even know though?
I don't know how close they are. I mean, they're close enough where she felt her person to be in there with her would be him. And so I don't know what she would have told him, but it's just another tidbit of information that we can glean while we don't have that much and we're starving and we're like so thirsty, right? I mean, that's basically what we're like. Yeah. We're so invested in this case. And it's like any tidbit of not conjecture, no rumors, any factual information we can get, please, like, let's do that,
Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay.
Or if she didn't know that, she would have continued the relationship, right?
But he killed his kids. At what point does he think that I'm going to be in a relationship?
I'm not talking about the children. I'm just talking specifically about her. If you only knew, if the kids were still here, and he called you and said, "I'm divorced from my wife," and he gets away with this, do you understand what I'm thinking from his aspect?
I still wouldn't do it. I still wouldn't do it because I'd be like, where did she go?
Okay.
Because I'm under the impression that she's a really good mom. Like, he never bashed her momming skills. Like, no, I wouldn't, no.
Okay.
No.
And that, you see where I'm trying to take that?
Yes.
So, you guys never had a conversation about the child, period?
I didn't know at all.
All right. And by your words, if you did know, you would have ended the relationship.
Well, because it wouldn't have made sense to me that he's like, I'm getting separated. Oh, by the way, I have a baby on the way. It's like,
that's 15 weeks.
You are a liar. You're just trying to sleep with me. That's what I would have probably interpreted that as, and I'd have just shut that off at work, and that would have been the end of it.
Okay. All right. We can move past that. The week that he comes back from North Carolina, you don't remember, somewhere in the first couple weeks of August?
Yeah, I think it was the second week, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
So we'll just use August as a time frame. Is that fair? Because you know he left in July and he comes back in August. How many times do you think you see him?
I saw him a few times. I saw him this past Saturday. I saw him the Wednesday before that. And he wanted to see me more. I was the one who wanted my space. I was like, nope, your kids are home. Go hang out with your kids. And even on Wednesday, I cut it short. Like, he came and hang out with me for a few hours, and then I was like, go chill with your kids.
Okay.
I was always like,
do
really
you know specifically where you guys went? Did you meet at your house? Did you guys go to any restaurants? Did you go to establishments? Where'd you go?
I didn't rewind it long enough. We missed it. I'm sorry.
It's
Why didn't you say something?
Because I was just waiting to get there. I'm like, I don't think we've heard this before.
Because this is the next part that I had something in my notes. Okay. No, guys, I do think this, I want to see this part. I was just talking about generally. I was just asking if we really think we're going to get much from him, like much information about anything. He's just there for support, I think. But like, no, it's interesting. because this is the famous scene where he's like, you're leading. Well, you know, this big thing that we heard a million times and we never got to see it visually, like what happens.
This is the one we all wanted to see. She does this. Even Wednesday, I let him go, or whatever that word was, drop, you know, like she drops them. And yeah, left hand, congruent with her positive space, left hand. Her left. Okay. Mystery Maverick cannot get away from us. Mystery Maverick, listen to us while you sleep.
Well, isn't she driving? I thought you said she was. Isn't she?
Oh,
She
maybe.
was driving somewhere. Maybe I could be wrong. Somebody said they were driving somewhere. I thought it was you, Mr. Maverick. And is Diana right? Is she here?
Here she is.
Diana, you made it! Yay! Okay, I'm gonna start it again. I hope I rewound it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I know, but why did I say I wasn't talking about NK driving? But I know she had him pick her up for some reason. But I'm confused. Are you responding to somebody else? Okay, let's just play this. We could read comments all day, but okay.
She said something that's important, that if he didn't have a child on the way, or if she didn't know that, she would have continued the relationship, right?
But he killed his kids. At what point does he think that I'm going to...
Back further.
On that.
Yes, I know why he lied to me. He lied to me because if I'd have known that he had a child on the way, I'd have never wasted my time with him in the first place. Like, none of this would have even occurred if he would have just told me the truth.
So do you think if he found out that you, if, let's say this week you guys were to go look at some apartments, and this is hypothetical, but you've never found out that his wife was pregnant, would that have changed anything? Like you just said, if I knew his wife was pregnant, I wouldn't be in this picture. So if his wife was not pregnant, and forgive me, but if he takes her out of the picture, you're never going to know that she was pregnant, right?
What do you mean takes her out of the picture? Like,
if he murdered her, she's out of the picture. You're never going to know if she was pregnant. If he can get away with murder, you're not going to... I got divorced from my wife. You say, do you understand what I'm saying here? If she's gone...
But this...
Don't lead.
Hypothetically.
Please.
Yeah,
don't
hypothetically.
Lead on.
If she...
Okay.
You understand where I'm going. If
right,
you didn't know...
You're leading into questions that are nothing with your...
If you didn't know, though...
Wait, Nick.
That she was there.
Did you hear what I said?
I'm following you. I just want her to answer a question that relates to... She said something that's important, that if he didn't have a child on the way, or if she didn't know that, she would have continued the relationship, right?
But he killed his kids. At what point does he think that I'm going to be in a relationship?
I'm not talking about the children. I'm just talking specifically about her.
Wow, do you notice she just said kids? Is that the only thing that angers her? Nothing about her killing his wife. Which I don't think it means because I know a lot of you guys will probably think that it means, oh, because she's the one that killed Shanann, or whatever you think. But I think it's just because that's what's really bothering her more than him killing Shanann, huh? Where'd Bella go? Isn't this the part she wanted to see too? And now she's not even seeing it. Shoot. I might as well wait because she's going to want to see this part. I didn't realize she was even gone until I started talking. No, okay, when he said Nick, he was talking to her. And he said, wait, Nick. He was talking to Nicole. His name's Kevin, and the other, and I forget what the other ones. But you could tell he was looking right at her. And he said, wait, Nick. His name's Kevin. So he was saying, hey, you're leading. And then I don't know why he said it, because it didn't even seem like Nicole was even about to say anything. But maybe he thought, okay, make sure she doesn't say anything. So he's like, wait, Nick. And then, but wait, Bella, you missed it. Okay, wait, what was it? Why did I stop this? Hold on. I wanted to see what you thought.
Is it over the Nick comment?
No, it led to that. Hold on, you guys. What did I just say? The whole point where I stopped this.
Was it the dad interrupting?
No, Oh! She said, "What? He killed his kids." She said he killed his kids, not his wife. So I think that's what angers her the most is about him killing her kids. She didn't mention his wife. Well, he killed his kids. Like, what do you think I'm going to say? What about him killing his wife too? You know, like, but I know some people are going to say because she's the one that killed him or something like that. But no, I think it's just because she doesn't care as much about that. It bothers her more about him killing his kids than killing his wife, probably. That's just my guess. But, and then somebody said something about Nick, and I think he was talking to her. He's like, wait, Nick, because he looks right at her. So he calls her Nick, Nicole, Nick. Usually it's common, right? To call them with the, you shorten their name. So he probably calls her Nick, and wait, Nick, you're leading. So you could tell he's talking to, it's two different people here. So, because his name's Kevin, the one, and the other guy, I don't know what his name is, but he doesn't even look that way. So it's Kevin and then Nicole. Okay, go ahead. What were you going to say? You left, so I have to rewind it again.
No, because that's the part we watched a couple of times.
Okay.
I went to get water at that time. Yeah, so no, because that's the part we watched a couple of times. So it was a safe spot. But yeah, that was a good catch. What Kobach had said, I think what I take that as, the way that she responds, the way that Nicole responds to that, is that sure, I might not have seen Shanann or asked like, where's Shanann? Because maybe me and Shanann wouldn't have had contact, but you killing your kids, like I'm still going to be like, where are your kids? Like at some point, like what did Chris think like was going to happen with this scenario? Like, yes, if you kill your wife, maybe it's a long time before that question gets brought up. But your kids, I'm going to be, I'm going to have interaction with them. I'm going to be like, I'm not going to believe that she just, maybe took the kids or whatever. That's just how I took it. But yeah.
But I mean,
good catch.
She would know if the mom wasn't there too, because then the kids would always be with them. So either way, she would be aware if the mom died.
True.
She looks at camera a lot. I'm trying to figure out. There's so many times I would have to write down everyone and then see, right? And I haven't been writing down everyone. Have you?
No, because that's going to be like my second watch through is the camera, the eye things. But as yesterday, if you were here, her 11 o'clock is her memory accessing is done at 11. I'm almost starting to think the amount, and don't quote me on this because I'm not 100%. I haven't watched this. This is the first run through of this video that I've actually seen. Like analyzing it. I'm almost thinking her 12 o'clock, which is kind of where the camera is, might be her accessing memory. But I don't quote me on that. We can check that. You guys can check you can help me or help all of us by you guys check and see, is that when she's accessing is when she's looking at the camera? When does she look at the camera? And we'll go from there. What do you think, Tiffy?
I mean, I'm trying to think of some of the past ones when she was looking up where I was like, when I remember when she was looking at the camera, it's like when she's talking about Shanann, the kids, but it could all be accessing memory because she's talking about like things probably Crystal. I don't know. I'm gonna have to pay attention again or pay attention to that now. But it's so much. I wish, I guess we could write it down later. It's too much to try to do it all now, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not that good yet. Like where I could be like, boom, 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 pick it all out, blink rate. All
well, it wouldn't be smart. Like, I mean, that'd be stupid. I mean, not stupid. I know. It would be more like thorough and more, if you.
But gosh, this is like a long interview.
You're not good enough or anything, but what's that?
It's such a long interview to do it on, I feel like. But yeah.
Okay, you ready? I know it is. We definitely will have to do it in 3 or 4 parts, but oh well. Either way, this is I like so if you ever want to stop, just tell me, okay?
Okay.
All right.
If you only knew, if the kids were still here and he called you and said, I'm divorced from my wife, and he gets away with this, do you understand what I'm thinking from his aspect?
I still wouldn't do it. I still wouldn't do it because I'd be like, where did she go?
Okay.
because I'm under the impression that she's a really good mom. Like, he never bashed her momming skills. Like, no, I wouldn't, no.
Okay.
No.
And that, you see where I'm trying to take that?
Yes.
So you guys never had a conversation about the child, period?
I didn't know at all.
All right. And by your words, if you did know, you would have ended.
There's one of the, I took that a note. That's one of the times she uses at all. I didn't know at all about her being pregnant. I think it's a lie because I think she did know about her being pregnant.
And it's that extra qualifier, in language, it's just not necessary.
Yep, and she uses it a lot. So I want to take notes on every time she uses that just to see. Okay, all those birds sound nice.
They do.
Yes, it almost sounds fake because it's so so perfect.
I think they're titmice because they'll come by and in a cluster. So I think these are actually titmice. I can't see them, but yes. Okay.
Okay.
The relationship.
Well, because it wouldn't have made sense to me that he's like, I'm getting separated. Oh, by the way, I have a baby on the way. It's like,
That's 15 weeks.
You are a liar. You're just trying to sleep with me. That's what I would have probably interpreted that as, and I'd have just shut that off at work, and that would have been the end of it.
Okay. All right. We can move past that. The week that he comes back from North Carolina, you don't remember, somewhere in the first couple weeks of August.
Yeah, I think it was the second week, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
So we'll just use August as a time frame. Is that fair? Because he left in July and he comes back in August. How many times do you think you see him?
I saw him a few times. I saw him this past Saturday. I saw him the Wednesday before that. And he wanted to see me more.
Think anything about how she says the Wednesday, because that's that day I think is really important, and she kind of got higher and lighter on that, and she does that on times. I feel like that it means something. I guess Saturday should be important too, though. Huh?
Yeah. I mean, right now with her, I'm trying more to watch the patterns of her, especially when she's doing things like this. I'm really honed in on her hands and the movements of her right to left side. But
yeah, I think she does do that. What is that called again? What's that called when they do that? I thought you had a term for it when it's like,
for which
she kind of gets high and it's like light when she says it.
Front of, Greg Hartley calls it front of the mouth speak. When we're trying to
front of the mouth speak. Okay.
Persuade or be sweet or come off as really nice.
Okay. Let me just rewind it a little bit. I mean, I can't just rewind it a little bit. It's hard with this.
You were saying that last time too, yeah.
Sucks.
Are a liar. You're just trying to sleep with me. That's what I would have probably interpreted that as, and I'd have just shut that off at work, and that would have been the end of it.
Okay. All right. We can move past that. The week that he comes back from North Carolina, you don't remember, somewhere in the first couple weeks of August.
Yeah, I think it was the second week, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
So we'll just use August as a time frame. Is that fair? Because he left in July and he comes back in August. How many times do you think you see him?
I saw him a few times. I saw him this past Saturday. I saw him the Wednesday before that. And he wanted to see me more. I was the one who wanted my space. I was like, nope.
Is there any way to rewind it one more time? I just wanted to see if there's a lip retraction. It's so hard. I want to see if there was a lip retraction with the last thing she says.
August as a time frame. Is that fair? Because he left in July and he comes back in August. How many times do you think you see him?
I saw him a few times. I saw him this past Saturday. I saw him the Wednesday before that. And he wanted to see me more. I was the one who wanted my space. I was like, nope, your kids are home. Go hang out with your kids. And even on Wednesday, I cut it short. He came and hang out with me for a few hours, and then I was like, go chill with your kids.
Okay.
I was always
Do you know specifically where you guys went? Did you meet at your house? Did you guys go to any restaurants? Did you go to establishments? Where'd you go?
Last Wednesday, he came to my house. And this past Saturday, we went to, what's the name of that bar that we used to go to? It's not the same, the Lazy Dog, but it's the one off of 144th and I-25. I think it's 144th, up there.
And it's the
That
Lazy
was the
Dog?
first time
Yes.
she turned her head to her left side like that to recall a memory. I haven't seen her do that.
Wait, did I have it wrong though? Isn't his name Kevin Kobach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm over here doubting myself because
Because of Nick?
Nick, yeah. No, because
Dude.
somebody said I'm telling you Dad knows Nick. So I'm like, wait, I thought his name was Kevin. It's the Kevin Kobach, I'm pretty sure. But then it started making me doubt when the whole Nick thing. But
like who? Like Nick Thayer? Like is that
what
Nick?
Oh, I thought the Google user meant the Kevin Kobach. That maybe is. I don't know why I'm doubting myself. I'm pretty sure it's Kevin Kobach. That's what I always thought. But can somebody tell me his name is? I could go look it up in the Discovery, but I don't really feel like doing that.
It's Kevin Kobach. It
is. Yeah. Okay. Then why was everybody even saying it?
What's the name of the investigator in the Chris Watts case? Siri sucks.
Here's what I found.
They're talking about Tammy Lee and Dave Baumhauer. But no, okay. Is it Kevin Kobach in the Chris Watts case from the CBI?
Yes, Agent Kevin Kobach. I have it. It is.
Oh my God,
it's Kevin.
Sports.
I found it real quick. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's Kevin. So what do you mean by Nick Google? I mean Google, the person in here named.
Oh, I know. You're gonna call my assistant. My Google assistant's gonna go off.
Okay.
Good thing.
But did you notice again when she mentioned Wednesday again? I feel like Wednesday is something in her head. Okay. And what were you saying though? Because she mentioned it twice. The one that I was originally talking about, and then she says it again when she's like, well, when did you see him? Well, I saw him Wednesday, and then she goes to Saturday. But what were you saying though?
So she did 2 lip retractions, one for each date. I'm gonna have to pay more attention to that. I'm really staying off her face for the most part. There's just certain things I see in her face that I can't help but notice. But for this run through,
because those days both were very important. I feel like.
Well, she
Wednesday
did a lip
and Saturday.
She did a lip retraction, which
she probably has weird, like negative, like weird feelings about it because everything that happened. But go ahead. When she did a lip retraction when she mentioned those days, and you want to rewind it to see that? Is that what you're saying? Or
I think we saw rewound it. I think we saw it, and then what it is that when you are. Your brain is always going to give you away. If you try to hide something else, with like if you learn that lip retractions mean something and you try to control that, something else is going to spaz out and you're going to give yourself away no matter what. So it's just better to be honest. But lip retractions usually when you have more information and you're shutting yourself up. So, like how was your day?
That makes total sense for that. That makes perfect sense. I feel like, I think you're right. I mean, I think good catch. Okay. But I wish, no, you said, never mind. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to play it.
I feel like I sunk down or something. What?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
I think it's because this thing. No, I think it's because, well, wait, now you are. Hey, what are you doing?
I'm just thinking, I guess. Can I? No, don't.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to see.
I'm kidding.
No, you're fine. Whatever, more comfortable.
Okay. No.
Okay.
I'm good.
You ready?
I can't see her if I sink down.
Did he ever mention a Rockies game that night?
No, I don't think so. But there was a the Broncos were playing.
Okay.
Which we couldn't see because they sat us in really crappy spots, but it's okay because it's preseason. But
so do you recall what time you went there?
He has Tourette's. I'm almost convinced.
No, I remember. Well, kind of. So he had to get a babysitter that night.
Do you know who that was?
Somebody who's really young. I remember I asked him who his babysitter was, and he's like, "We have 2. This girl's only 17, but the other one's out of town, so this girl's gonna stay, and she doesn't do overnights." So I gotta be back by 10. And I remember her saying that, and him saying that. And I don't know what time he got to my house. It was between, I want to say like 5:30. It might have been 5, but I don't think so. Because I think the babysitter, if I remember correctly, showed up at like 4:30 or something, and he was like, I want to spend time getting my kids acclimated to her, and then I will come.
So his
She does
children didn't even
not
know
like
her.
this babysitter.
Oh no, they knew her, but he was saying like he likes to like stay there for a little while. He doesn't just like walk out the door when
Okay.
they show up. It's like a transitional thing. And so that's why I'm saying I don't know how long it was. I want to say like 5:30, and then he had to be back by 10, so he left at like 9 something to be back by 10.
So he
probably
picks
like-
you up. What was he driving?
No, he didn't pick me up. He came to my house. We drove my truck.
Okay. So he gets to your house. You know what he was driving to get to your house?
Off the top of my head, I don't remember. I'm pretty sure he usually drives that Lexus, but he doesn't always park it.
I say so I don't have to rewind the next part. So when he asks her what she drives, she does that really like, what did you say, talking on the I don't even know if that's the right thing, if we're talking about the same thing, but it's like that real light like
Front of the mouth
nerve,
speak.
like it's almost like she's nervous or something, and it's when they ask like what kind of car she drives, which is weird because I think I don't know why she was trying to like keep that, because remember she had them pick her up. I mean, she never drove it to the police station. She had her dad, she had the agent pick her up one time. So like what is going on? But anyway, so there's something, I feel like there's something up with her car that makes her nervous. Maybe I don't know what it is, or maybe it's nothing, but I just pick that up on
or
her
maybe
voice.
she's like just so entitled. She's like, if you guys want me there, you're gonna have to get me there. I don't want to do. Or maybe I can't believe I'm playing devil's advocate, pro NK.
You have to.
I have to.
Look, I'm going the other way and saying like, you know, you have to just look at it objectively. Just because I don't think she was there, I can't just avoid weird things.
It's like,
you know? But go ahead though.
No, I like we've switched places. Okay.
No, we're both just looking at this is how you have to look at it both ways. Then this is smarter to do it that way. You don't want to be stuck. It's good. Because we're just looking at it. We could see the other side. We could kind of see where people are coming from, and and it helps us to be able to explain why we think, what we think, because we can see. It's good to be able to see it, and then it almost makes it for a better argument on the other way, or whatever way you're going with. Am I explaining that right? Maybe, but no. So I'm saying though, when she says this, it's like, why does her voice get all high and light again when they ask her, what kind of car do you drive? But what were you saying, devil's advocate? You never finished. Why do you think you're playing devil's advocate?
Because I'm giving her like, these are the reasons where I've always thought it was so bizarre that she didn't like show up with her car, had to be driven. But I'm like, maybe she was tired. Maybe she couldn't drive. Maybe she felt entitled. Maybe she was, I don't know. But, I do believe, for the record, in my opinion, as it stands right now, I do believe that she knew about Shanann. I do believe she knew that they were married. I believe that she knew Shanann was pregnant. I 100% believe that. Yes.
I do too.
I don't think that it's good to be a mistress.
No, I believe she knew all that too. That's what I was saying. Like, that's why I feel like a lot of this lies and stuff. Yeah, definitely. I agree on that. Okay, so
we're going to hear what Greg Hartley refers to as front of the mouth speak, which is kind of like,
if we're even understanding, like if I'm explaining it and then if I'm explaining it right and you're understanding what I'm saying right, and if that's what it really is, but that to me it sounds like a kind of high, light voice, almost like nervous, like almost like she doesn't want to say it. It's almost like it's like a force to have to say it almost in a way. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it any better than that, but let's see. This was last night when I listened, so let's see what it sounds like tonight.
In my complex, because the parking, there's not good spaces. So where you guys pick me up at, a lot of times he'll just park out there because there's room.
Okay.
So that kind of works so that because there's just not a lot of room in my apartment complex. But off the top of my head, I don't know what he was driving.
What kind of truck do you drive?
I drive a Toyota 4Runner.
Okay. So you guys take your 4Runner.
What did you get? Are we describing the same thing or no? That's not it.
It's very similar to what they call in behavior analysis, it's fading facts. It's close to being fading facts. but I can still hear where you start, and then as the sentence goes, it like kind of drifts and it gets lower. So with that's a deception indicator, you know, just like with a lot of things, we don't just say one thing is indicative of deception. There's a lot of red flags that have to go out, and it has to be in clusters.
Yeah, because this
for
obviously
it.
isn't a lie. She drives that kind of car, so
Right. But there would be deception, and why is there deception with that? But we would have to look at other things that she's doing at the time and see if there are clusters of it, and it makes for deception. But what you're specifically speaking about, yeah, not front of the mouth speak. It would be more closer to fading facts, which
I
is
wonder why she's doing it like that. Because I know I catch she does this a lot, and I feel like there's a reason why she keeps doing this for certain times. And it is certain things. It's like certain things that I've questioned in my time, like about the car and her never having it, like her not wanting law enforcement to be around it. And then about like the other one was about how long she knew him, I think it was, and I don't know, just certain things where it's like, okay. Anyway.
Yeah, how long she knew him. Holy moly, let's see that. Did we already see
that? Was the Twitch too. I know for sure it was a Twitch. I'm not sure if it was this too, but she did that weird, this was before you came. This was at the beginning. Where she did the weird, like the really strong, like that. Yeah. I think that, right? Isn't that the man? Now they're all
I don't remember
together. I don't know. We're gonna go back. We'll have to go back and watch that. But there was something about that when she was explaining how long she knew him. It was something.
Yes, and Kibby, in my opinion, she does not like this babysitter. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because the babysitter has said something and maybe Chris is related to her, or what it is about the babysitter that she doesn't like, but she doesn't like this babysitter.
Because isn't it, it's their friend's daughter. And isn't it more, wait, no, that was the friend.
Their neighbor, it's the Lindstroms.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, that's the friends that actually didn't say too many nice things about Shanann, right? No, not the Lindstroms. Oh, yeah, it is the Lindstroms, yeah.
Jeremy's. Yeah.
I always get that name mixed up with the other people. And when I hear the name, I picture the wrong thing. I do that in my head all the time. With their other couple, I get them visually. Like when I hear a name, I picture the wrong ones. But okay. So wonder if it has something to do with that. It can't just be the babysitter. She's a really young girl. I mean, you don't think she's just jealous of her, do you?
I don't know what her issue is, but I know that
she said she's younger than the other babysitter. Remember, doesn't she say something like that? I think she's like 17 or something.
Yeah, she says there's there's two. This one's younger. I don't know why
he would have a problem with her though.
You're saying that.
Did you say that, or did somebody else say that? You said that.
I said it. Okay. In my opinion, NK has a problem.
Probably just because she's a female, maybe. I don't know. Like maybe a pretty female. Or maybe something Chris has said about her one time, like, oh yeah, she's hot, or yeah, she's pretty, and it just stuck with her.
Isn't she like a child?
I'm just guessing. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of what it could be.
You're playing devil's advocate. I don't know. Maybe she said something like, or maybe she feels like that. Maybe they had an argument. Maybe it was simply like an argument. Like, can I come in? No, the babysitter's going to be here, and she'll tell Shanann. It could be something very mild.
Just a negative. Now, what is it though? Is it coming up? Why you feel that way?
Yes, she on multiple occasions is doing her right space movements of where she keeps her negative space, and also when she talks about it, she mentions 2 separate occasions. Not only is she using her right hand space, but on 2 separate occasions she's motioning towards her right, which is when she does this with her right hand, it's something that she feels negatively about. Okay. So it confirmed it for me. I noticed it, and then she confirmed it for me. It was like, okay, got it.
Okay. And Google years we know we mentioned that last time. There's somebody sitting right across from her. Yep, we're aware of that. Thank you though. Thank you for actually reminding, so we could tell everybody else there is somebody sitting right directly in front of her, guys. So there's 4 people in the room, just so you know. They don't, the other guy doesn't talk very much, but yeah. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
To the lazy dog.
Yep.
And you said they sat you in crappy location?
It just
Where
depends.
were you inside
We
the bar?
were, when you walk in, you just hang a right, and we were like one of the first 2 booths on the right when you walk in the door. You
Okay.
just, it's just not a good, it's a good spot, but just not for the TVs. And we actually went to the other Lazy Dog. We went to the one that you and me go to. Where's that at? Federal and 100 and
20th.
it's 120th and Federal, and we went there, and they have a different menu, and I was like, I don't want to eat this food, so we should go to the other one.
So initially you go to the 120th
Yes.
location. Did you
And-
actually get seated?
Kind of, sort of. They were like cleaning off a table, and we were standing there, just kind of looking at the beer menu and the food menu, and I was like, I don't want this, and so we
6
left.
o'clock?
Probably somewhere around there, 6:30, and then we left and went to the other one, and we ate dinner.
And you're in like first or second booth right to the right of the door.
Uh-huh.
I'm just asking because if they have video, we want to be able to verify that.
Uh-huh.
So that's why it's important.
Uh-huh.
And you're there for how long?
I don't know. Probably. We didn't stay for dessert, so I don't know. How long's the restaurant take? Like an hour and a half?
I don't know. I've never been to the Lazy Dog.
I don't know. Probably about an hour and a half, and then we went back to my house for a little bit. Hung out at my house for a little while, and then he had to leave, and then he left.
Do you recall what time you left?
Off the top of my head, no. I remember he was like gonna be late to be back at 10. I think there's a text message where he starts texting me when he's home at his house.
Okay.
So you can probably figure that out. And I remember I texted him back and I was like, damn, that was quick. Or wow, that was really quick. He's like, yeah, I even had time to stop at the ATM or stop at the gas station, stop somewhere to get money to pay the babysitter.
Okay.
And I was just like thinking like, well, that was really fast. But I think he was still like a little late coming back, but nothing too drastic. So he probably left my house like somewhere around 9:30ish.
All right. And you go straight home. He texts you.
Well, I was already home.
Right. No, he texts you. He goes straight home from your house and he texts you that he's home.
Mhm.
So that should be in your text message.
It should be. I'm pretty positive that was not a phone call. I'm almost positive that was a text. Sometimes I get them flip-flop or I don't remember, but
That's
sometimes
okay.
I know. I'm pretty sure that one was a text.
Saturday during your dinner, what kind of conversation did you guys have?
I don't even remember. Oh, so he's been trying to like eat a little healthier than he normally does, and he's always like been in the working out since I knew him, and he like tries to eat clean, but he was trying to like step it up a little bit, and nothing like the people who do like the competitions and the shows that are all super restrictive. I mean, it's nothing like that. It's just like day-to-day general maintenance, but it's how I eat, and it's pretty healthy. And he's been losing a lot of weight. He lost, I want to say like 13 pounds
in my opinion.
in the time that we were hanging out. And honestly, when you start eating a little bit cleaner and you start,
Searching
In my
for something
opinion,
else.
she
Go ahead.
wasn't there to help him with his food menu.
Okay, I wasn't. I'm trying to look for something else. Shoot, did I miss a lot?
Not really. I mean, she once again refers to the babysitter motioning with her right negative space hand. And then here we are where she's talking about eating clean, offering weird info too, but she's doing that again. So I, in my opinion, do not believe she was there to talk about clean and help him with the menu. She does believe that he has been working out. She knows that to be true. That's congruent language, but she is not telling the truth when she says that, in my opinion, that she was there to help him get a menu.
She was there to help who get what?
Chris, to like put his like better menu together, not like
Oh,
this
that's not what they were
workout.
doing.
Yes, that wasn't the purpose of that.
So you guys, somebody asked the names of everybody that were here. I have it right here. Hold on, let me just show you. So, oh wait, hold on. So these are the names of them. You got Kevin Kobach and Tim Martinez. So none of them are named Nick. So it's got Kevin.
Well,
and Tim.
Nicole.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's who he was talking to. But somebody I think kept saying Nick. That guy knew Nick. I thought they were talking about. So yeah, he was definitely talking to Nicole when he said Nick. Wait, he was telling her don't talk. But yeah, so it's Kevin and Tim. Okay, Somebody just asked who all 4 of them were, so I just wanted to look it up. All right, so let's. Sorry.
What? No, don't be sorry. Yeah, it's good to know all the players and all that stuff.
Man, I want to eat a sucker, but God, I've been eating so many lately. Maybe later I'll have one.
Maybe have one. Maybe have one in 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Later. Maybe like 20 minutes.
Maybe
Okay,
like
so
5 minutes.
5. Okay.
Do you think
No,
you'll
you're
catch up
going
with me?
less.
No,
I'm saying
because
like more time. You're like shortening it.
no,
up.
because I thought that we could be in a competition about who finishes theirs first.
Do you want to know how many I ate yesterday? You don't even want to know. That's why it made me sick. I was flying through them. Like I could break a record, and I'm afraid I'm going to break my teeth.
You're gonna break your teeth.
Yeah, I'm afraid.
You are.
Because I have to reschedule my dentist appointment. I'm just like so mad that I didn't go. Okay, so you said, okay, you saw the negative thing with the babysitter again. Shoot, I wish I was paying attention. I'm not going to rewind it. I'll look next time. But so anything else you wanted to point out?
Working out a little bit harder.
Sorry. Anything else? Okay. Crochets. Oh, I love that comment. I want one so bad, but I want a Tootsie Pop. So when I look at, yeah. Okay, all right, we're gonna.
I might have a Tootsie Pop, but
If you
this
eat
is a Tootsie.
Oh no, I mean like a Tootsie Roll Pop. If you eat a
No,
Tootsie
I know,
Roll,
but I might have one.
Okay, when you eat it, I'll have one.
What? Really?
If you eat your Tootsie Pop, I'll have one. Yeah.
I'm not gonna have another one.
See,
Girl, get it out.
Well, then I had enough for freaking 2 weeks just yesterday.
You're not gonna eat one for serious? If you're for serious, then fine.
No, I will if you eat.
I'll put mine away. I'll put
No,
mine away.
I want you to eat one. But if you eat your Tootsie Pop, I'll eat one. Because once I eat one, you see, I just pick up another one. I keep going.
I know because you're so naughty about it, but like you need to put the bag somewhere far away and then just have
They're
one.
right here though. But then how do I
So
reach when I
naughty.
want one? Like I have an issue, guys. I've been really bad. Like, and then I had those Starburst earlier, like those little mini ones, but no, I can't. And I'm just more worried about these that breaking my teeth. But I just can't stop. Like you would have my little pile of all my wrappers and sticks yesterday.
You kept them like as
Well,
a
I eat them and then I
souvenir?
throw them away at the end. No, but they piled
Like
up
a murderer.
by the time
Like
I
a
threw them
murderer.
away.
You're
And so
a serial killer.
I ate a
of
mixture
lollies.
of big ones and little ones, and it was
You're a
ridiculous,
murderer.
one after another. And you know, I don't suck them all the way down, so it was quick. It was like couple sucks, bite, couple sucks, bite.
You
The
guys,
little ones is just one suck bite. They're so
please find an eating competition with lollies, so that Tiff can win and bring home the championship belt because she will win. She'll win. She does 3 licks on the big one. The owl does not know about it.
The trick is find a little soft spot. Like if I got
Let's
it
not
down,
talk about
I'm not
tricks.
gonna. I'm trying not to. So if I do it on live, I usually do lick it more because, for one thing, I wait till the good moment I could chew it when I don't need to talk. And so
keep
maybe I should eat
souvenirs.
one now because I will probably go slower
See,
now.
I knew it. And I'm really shocked that you keep souvenirs like serial killers.
I don't, just because I don't want to get up and throw it away. I do it at the end. I mean,
Yeah, you're like admiring what damage you've done. Yeah.
no, I want to cry. It's horrible. I'm sick about my damage. Okay.
Well, you know what? I think Kemper didn't feel sick. Who felt sick afterwards?
I don't know.
Maybe Dahmer. Maybe Dahmer felt a little sad.
Wait, maybe what?
Dahmer.
Look, serial sucker. Yes. Dahmer did what though?
He might have felt bad. No, like look at his souvenirs. Like he might have opened his fridge and like seen the heads or like the stuff in the vats and then went like, I wish they could be here with me right now. I feel so bad, but I'll still keep their head.
Well, Wow, everybody's like, get back into the video. People don't like this.
Oh, they are?
No, it's
Do they
just a
not
couple
know
people.
us?
It's people that just aren't usually here. They're here for this.
Oh, it's people that don't know us. Okay. For you
Well,
guys,
they're
we
just
will.
they're
We will.
we will,
We'll
but normally,
shut up,
like, we
right.
are gonna stop it. This is just how we do
We
it.
will
But
shut up.
because it is time to start it. No, let's say we will, but not because you told me to. I was gonna start it anyway. So
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. We will shut up, I guess. Huh?
all right, let's go.
The first couple months, especially for a man, because they lose weight faster, it's not something that's like that drastic to me, but it did stand out that it was like a little much. And so I was like, whoa, like maybe you're not eating enough macronutrients, so let me look at them. So he had been working on his MyFitnessPal app and like programming like all the stuff he eats, and I just started going through them, and I was like trying to figure out like where his ratios were. And we actually spent a lot of time doing that because he'd asked me to do it for him, because I just was at the point
I don't
where
believe
I
it
was
was
like,
that night.
if his weight loss slows down in a few weeks, he'll be fine, and if it doesn't.
Wait, what was that night?
I don't believe that they did that the night she's saying that this all happened, like whatever night she's claiming. I think that's
Saturday.
why. Look at her hard blink right there.
Okay.
I think she has Tourette's or a form of it or tics or something.
Yeah, Kimmy, it's not about like I do brush my teeth after, but it's more about the hardness and crunching it, like breaking a piece off like that. That's what I worry about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna play it again.
Okay.
Then his macros are a little off. It's not like that big of a deal like in the workout community. This is like a very normal thing. But
Did you have any other outside concerns, like potential drug use, alcohol use, any of that stuff that led you to go, oh, he's lost an extreme amount of weight in such a short period of time?
No, and I wouldn't call it extreme. It was just like it was a lot. But I mean, when I first started working out, I dropped like 12 pounds in 2 weeks when I first started like hitting it hard with the diet. So the fact that he lost like that much weight, it wasn't, like I said, it was not a surprising amount. I just didn't want it to be like a sustained amount. But no, I didn't think anything weird of it just because of like how interknitted I am with the like workout community, and I know like this is possible. But it just, the thing that concerned me about it, I guess, and it wasn't even concerned, but the thing that like kind of red lighted me like, hey, this might be carrying on, is the fact that his macros were like pretty dialed in. Like I had wrote them and he like didn't stay exactly on them, but his calorie intake was about where it needed to be, my experience anyways, for like what he was trying to achieve. And so I don't know, he didn't seem to have a problem with it. He liked where he was at with all of that.
So that was your main conversation Saturday?
That was like a big chunk while we were there, is like us actually going through, because I was like going through each item like, why are your ratios off?
You know where his kids or wife were that night?
On Saturday?
Yeah, his kid. Well, you know his kids are with the babysitter. Do you know where his wife is?
She's in Arizona.
Okay. How do you know that?
Because he told me.
Okay. Do you know what she's doing there?
I think she's on a business trip. He didn't even tell me right away. He actually told me, I think, like on Saturday or something. It might have been like Friday or something. I honestly don't remember. I just remember I was like really surprised where he's like, hey, like, I'm going to try to get a babysitter if you want to hang out or something like that. And I was like, why do you need a babysitter? Like, your wife's home. He's like, no, she's out of town. I was like, oh.
Okay. Is there much conversation regarding that, her on being on a trip, or the children during those conversations?
Not really. I just asked him what time she was coming home on Sunday, and he just said really late.
Okay.
And that was it. I mean, there's nothing really to talk about with that.
Okay. So your conversation's mainly health related.
Mm-hmm.
You guys return to your house, and then he goes home, and then you talk to him for a few hours on Sunday.
Did I? Are you asking me, or are you telling me?
I'm asking you.
Oh, I was like, I don't even know. Someday, honestly, so wait a minute. That was Saturday. We're talking about Saturday. We're not talking about Sunday right now.
Okay, so you're still on Saturday.
Yes.
You guys have a phone conversation when he gets home?
That was the day that he got the babysitter and I went out to dinner, not Sunday.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, I just want to make sure
That's
you
okay.
got your
Yep.
days right. So Saturday, yes, we went out. He had the babysitter. He went home. I'm sure we did. We always talk on the phone. And honestly, I mean, Mark asked me that the other day. He's like, how long are you on the phone? 15 minutes, 20 minutes? Like, you're going to have to look at the records, to be honest with you. Like, so much.
You like to talk, I can tell a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
400, when she was young, she'd crank out about 400 words a minute, gusts up to 600. A little thing can yak, man.
You're a talker, so I'm letting you talk.
I need to use the restroom if I
Let me
can.
show you where it's at.
Can you
So
give me some water while you're out there with
Sure.
me, please? Thank you.
Another bottle?
let's
Yeah, at least one.
let's move to
Sunday.
Sunday. Well, let me reverse something. Your conversation with the children, or about the children, was there ever any talk about medical concerns with either of the children?
Well, I know Cece is allergic to not peanuts, like pine nuts. Pine nuts.
So she has a nut allergy.
Yes.
Did they take meds?
Yeah, I know that she had like an EpiPen, but as far as I know, she didn't have any meds, but I never asked. Like, I was just told, like, she has a pretty severe allergy. And
Enough to carry an EpiPen, that's pretty severe.
yeah, while we're on this, so when he was in North Carolina, this is all like hearsay now because it's like, this is not a conversation. Like, he's telling me this stuff, but who knows exactly what happened. But he went out there to go see his family and her family. And while he was in town, before he went out to North Carolina, I guess his mother had accidentally, like, not exposed her to something with nuts, but had, like, given a product, I think it was like ice cream, to a different kid that could have traces of nuts or something. I don't know. But it was like, his daughter was fine, but she was like in the range of contamination. And I think his wife was very upset about that. And when he got to North Carolina, he told me that he was supposed to spend like half time with them, half the time with her family, and that was supposed to be what it was. I don't know. But he said that he went to go see his family, and they weren't answering the phone for like a day or two before he went out there. And then when he got there, there was a note on the door that said, son, if you step by, we're at the beach. And they ignored him for like most of the time that he was out there. And
His own family?
yes, his mom, his dad, and
What do
his
you-
sister.
What's the significance? Do you know why?
Yeah, he said, and again, I don't know what is true with this man anymore and what's not, but he told me that, like, leading up to it, I was like, well, why are your folks, like, ignoring you? And I was, like, really concerned about this. Like, every single day he would talk to me when he was out there, and I was like, you talked to your family today? You talked to your family today? Did you talk to your dad? What happened? Did you talk to him? No, I didn't. Or, yeah, I talked to my mom. Well, what'd she say? Are you going to hang out with them? Like, I wanted him to see his people because it's important. Family is an important thing. You know, it just needs to function properly. And,
Sure.
and so I was like, well, and he was like, well, they're ignoring me. And I was like, what do you think happened? And he's like, I'm not really sure, but I think something was said between my wife and them during that incident. And he's like, because
The
every time
peanut
yes,
or
that happened
nuts.
before he got there, yes. And he's like, because every time that I try to I talk about possibly going over there to see if they're home, she gets upset about it. And I was like, okay. And he told me that his mom and his wife did not get along at all. He said that his mom didn't even show up to his wedding because she's like really did not care for Shanann.
Okay.
So again, I don't know what's true and what's not, but I just know that there was like some tension there.
Mhm.
And again, like that part is like, I feel like it's almost third party, so that's why it's
Sure.
like I didn't even
Well, but
bring
it came
up
from him
later.
to you, so it's not. It is something that is, whether it's important or not, we can validate that. I'm sure we will be having some conversations with family. What does it mean? I don't know. But
Yeah, I don't know either, but I just know
so
like,
maybe she, I don't know.
well, and then he ended up seeing them on the last like full day that he was there, and they told him supposedly that she had gotten really upset and had screamed and yelled in front of Chris's sister's kids that are very young, and to his mom and to his dad, and said like, you're never going to see Chris again, you're never going to see me, you're never going to see the babies, and just like threatened them, and then like walked off. And I guess that was the incident that happened prior to him coming out there, and then she didn't tell him about it.
Mhm.
She just like let it go, and then he just spent all week trying to figure out why his family was like not trying to be involved.
Gotcha.
So again, I'm not sure. That was like it just feels really third party, so it's hard for me to like talk about because
Sure.
like, I don't know how
That's okay.
much validation.
So
there is in all that.
beyond the nut allergy for the children's name or his sick.
You're muted.
I just lost her spot. No, I know where it's at because look, I should know kind of close where it's at because I have a note about hold on. The
I
126.
need to put socks on.
Socks. Okay. Yes, Mildred. I was gonna stop and call that out, but I just let it go. I have it in my notes. She called him, talked to him every day in North Carolina. She says, I talked to him every day in North Carolina, but that was the time he was supposed to be working on his marriage with his wife. Remember that? I want you to work on it. But yet she talked to him every single day. She said it right out of her mouth. Good catch. Okay, so it might not be exactly where we left off, but it's close enough. I accidentally lost it. Go ahead though.
Wait, but can I go to the restroom?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But can we talk about G-dubs?
Yeah. Like, oh, where'd that go? Oh, yeah.
So it was G-dub says it was pre-CW and they only went on one date, but he said she was weird. Well, she must have been like kind of young, right, G-dubs? I wonder.
Yeah, you got to get more information. Does she have Tourette's then?
Yes, please, G-dubs, find out if it's really true she has Tourette's. We're dying to. I think that she has Tourette's because it's just too many tics. But she could be tired, nervous, but that could also exasperate. I hate that word, exacerbate. Tourette's. It's like my preliminary word.
Yeah,
Did I say it right? Did I just say it right?
Yeah.
I never
Good job.
Maybe it's becoming like a phenomenon where I'm going to be able to say it like a grown up.
Yes. That's good.
Interesting.
Don't worry. Like I said, you should think about.
You bit it?
No, not yet. I have it right here. I'm close. I want to, but I'm doing good. All right, go to your bathroom or go do what you got to do, right? Or do you have to go? Is that what you said?
I do.
Look, but can you look how slow you are? Because I am way farther than you.
Show me.
Look.
I think yours is defective.
No, because I'm a better sucker. Like you take a lot longer. I just know how to get it out. Like
I only get one a day. I'd like to enjoy it. Thank you.
I enjoy mine too.
I'm sure you do.
And I didn't bite it yet, so
you're doing so good.
But look how quick I got mine down compared to yours. And you started like an hour before me or however long before me.
That's why I wanted you to hurry up and start. Okay. Are we stopping this at any time soon? Are we gonna go a little bit longer, do part 3? How far are we in this interview right now?
Well, let's do it for 15 more minutes as far as time wise at least. So go pee, what else do you have to do? Put on socks?
Yes.
Okay, go put on socks. Is it cold?
It's getting to be nighttime.
Okay. No. I just
Was I being mean?
No.
Okay,
no, it wasn't mean at all. It was almost like you're like telling me like, yeah, like I don't know.
No, it was because sometimes people will say that to me, and I don't know if I'm coming. But yeah, maybe my matter of factness sometimes could be come off as
but it's not me. Like I know I didn't take it. Like I just kind of was playing bad.
No.
Well, okay. Go toilet. Socks. All right, guys. So you guys that want me to hurry up, or that are mad that we're stopping, and I'm sorry, we are gonna wait to press play till she comes back. How's everybody doing? I'm sorry. I want to bite it so bad. I'm gonna wait till we start it so it's on mute. And no, yeah, there's 2 times, Soul. There's two of the searches where I'm a little rusty on all the details because it's been a while since I've looked into this case. But one of them, I believe, is September 2017, and one's like January 2018, maybe. One of them, it's that she looked up Shanann, and then the other one she looked up Chris and Shanann, I think. I mean, separately, but there was 2 searches on one of them. The one from September, I don't know, I'm gonna have to look through the discovery, but no, she looked them up twice. The names twice before she even supposedly even knew Chris. So that part is just, I wish there was an explanation for that. I don't get that. I don't know. I wish we could like talk to somebody that could be like, hey, listen, the date was wrong on them, or this was what it was, or this, she did look it up. This is true. I don't know. It is weird because why did she do it? Maybe she ran into Shanann's stuff through Thrive or something, and maybe she was wanting to get into Thrive, and she's like, oh, Chris, he's cute, let me look up her husband, or something, where she had to type in him, and so she did have her eyes on him before he came in. And then maybe, because we see how it was so hard for her to say Shanann, like I don't think she likes Shanann. I'm just saying it could be just as innocent like as this, and she kind of like, which that's not innocent, but as far as it being like a pre-planned murder or anything, maybe it was just something she had ran into her through Thrive or the work, looked her up, and then wanted to know a little bit more. Let's see, or she's married, maybe she's had a little crush on Chris, and then all of a sudden now she's working with him, so she has her eyes on him, and then maybe she didn't even like Shanann back then, something about her, jealousy, or maybe it wasn't jealousy, maybe she just didn't like her. Who knows? Because like I said, we know she has some kind of issue where she's not too happy with Shanann. It could just be as simple as, Shanann's the wife. This is the mistress. She doesn't like her. She wants the man. But so it could be just this, as simple as that, rather than it be like a pre-planned big conspiracy murder. She looked him up a year before because her handlers had her, like they programmed her to go get him, or whatever people are saying. But so yeah, that is weird. It is strange, but there could be an explanation like that. It really could just be that. Oh my God, oh, I got sucker. Oh my God, I better get that off before it gets too.
Where's your sucker?
There's like a little streak of sucker juice on my on my screen. I had to wipe it off. It was like a stream.
You have a stream of sucker juice?
Like a drip. It was like a little. Yeah, but I haven't bit it yet. I'm waiting until I start playing again.
Okay.
Are you right?
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm going to keep this about 3 hours. So when we hit about 3 hours, let's call it, and we'll start our wind down. Well, we won't make the wind down that long. We'll just start saying our byes then. Okay. And we might have to do this in 4 parts then. But this one we did kind of talk a lot before, more than we normally would, right? So, wait, what?
True. No, we did.
I still think we might have to do it in 2 more parts, though. But oh well. I mean, or do you have a problem with that?
So problematic.
Did you open another one?
No, and now I have to finish it because I threw a fit and threw the wrapper on the ground.
You threw a fit? Why?
Mm-hmm. First one wants us to keep moving. Okay, first one.
That's the same person that was saying it last time.
We love you, first one. Okay, we will shut up now.
I get it, though. I mean, people just want that. But that's not what this is, but we'll try our best. Okay, let's go.
Time, like, he wanted to take care of it. Like, anytime that his kids could be in, like, his life for hours or days or whatever, whenever they were home, I made sure that I wasn't a presence in his life so that he could be the best dad that he needed to be. And, I mean, I thought what we had, it was very comfortable for me. I enjoyed it. I think he did very much as well.
You guys, 6 to 8 weeks, 2 months, whatever it was, you guys have an intimate relationship during that time?
Yes.
Okay. So you're pretty serious. Did he ever tell you that he loved you?
Yes, he did.
Did you ever tell him the same?
A couple times.
Okay. Notwithstanding that today, because those thoughts may have changed for you, but on, let's go Sunday into Monday or Monday, did did you still love him on those days?
I think it was something where it was like I said it a few times and I meant it, but he definitely felt the urge to say it to me a lot more than I did to him, because it was just all very new to me, and it was like, take your time with this. Like, you don't need to like rush that, you know? Like, I remember when he was in North Carolina and he was like trying to patch things up with his wife, and he told me he loved me, and I was like, don't say that to me. Like, please go try to fit. And I mean, and that might even be in the text too, where it's like, don't say those words to me and then go try to make peace with your wife and lay in bed with another woman. Like, just don't do that. And I was like, it's not that I don't appreciate what you're saying to me. It's like, it just didn't sit right for me, you know? So I just feel like...
Almost like an insecurity where he had to say that to you? Or?
I don't know. I think he like... looking back at all this now, I don't think he was trying to fix things with her. So saying, I love you, to me, seemed like probably something that he genuinely meant. Like, I love this woman. And regardless of where he was going to end up that night. But to me, in the way that I was perceiving things, he had told me that he was trying to fix things with her. So it's just like, this is an inappropriate time. And I wasn't mad at him. And I'm pretty sure that's in the text too, where it was very like calm, but it's just like, it's almost disrespectful, where it's like, please don't. I'm like, you know, if we get to that point where it is you and me, like, yes, you can say that, but not then. Like, that's...
So you thought he was very genuine when he said that?
Yeah, I did. I mean, and he wrote it. It's in all those cards I gave you. Not in all of them, but
okay.
Like the later ones.
And...
Thank you.
When you said it to him, you said you meant it when you said it?
Yes, I just didn't say as frequently as he said it. Like, sometimes he would say it, and I was just like, for me, it was still, like, very, very new, so I kind of, like, took my time and only said it when I was just like, this is a really important moment.
So you got, I mean, in the short period of time that you guys were together, he
yes
became very attached to you.
Yes, very, very
he's
attached.
sending cards,
flowers.
He's telling you he loves you. He sends you flowers. Does he buy you any other gifts?
Nope, I wouldn't have wanted them anyways. Flowers is enough. You can't. I don't need expensive stuff.
Okay, but he becomes very attached to you.
Yes.
You guys are talking multiple times a day, at least.
All the time.
You're seeing each other on a regular basis.
Yep.
So it's a very, and his wife is not around, nor are his children. So there's a lot of time for you guys to build your relationship in this first four weeks or so. Is that fair?
Yeah, and even when she was back, I mean, it was still like we were still spending time together. He was still spending time with his children, and I had my own life. Like, I mean, there was one week where I just like went out of town with my friends for my birthday. I wasn't even around the whole like last few days of June up until the 3rd of July. I was like gone, you know. And then there was another like last weekend I had a friend impromptu come in town from out of state, and I hosted her for a few days. And it's like I still did my own thing all the time. Like, whether he was there or not, like, if my friends were like, hey, we want to make plans, I would tell them, like, we're not hanging out today because I want to go see my mom or my dad.
Did your friends know about him?
Nope.
Why?
Because it's like he's with 2 women right now. They don't need to know about
So
that.
if you had a boyfriend of 4 to 8 weeks on a regular... I don't know if you were married prior or if you had a boyfriend before, but if you had a steady boyfriend, you would have let people know. I think you told me before we got started that you just told your dad about Chris
No, I wouldn't
recently.
have told them. I wouldn't have told
Okay.
people. It's too early. I mean, people...
So you don't tell your friends, hey, I
No,
got a
because
boyfriend?
people come and go. I mean,
Okay.
dating scene these days is like, it sucks. I mean, so, no, I wouldn't. I mean, it would have to be something, even with Sean. I think I was with Sean for probably like 6 or 7 months before I brought him home to my family. I mean, I really,
Okay.
same with, that was the guy I was in a previous relationship with, but I
But
mean,
this one, you were a little bit more, you said he's with 2 women. Was that one of your considerations for not telling anybody about him?
Yes, well, I mean, it was like, okay, like this, to me, it wasn't going to be an extended thing. Like, if it got to the point where we were, like, dating for, like, 3 or 4 months and he's still talking about, oh, I'm going to move out, I'm going to sell the house, I think at that point I probably would have just been like, I don't think you're really, like, doing these things you say you're going to do, and I probably would have just, like, left, because at that point, it's not fair. It wasn't fair to me in the first place. It wasn't fair to her in the first place. It wasn't fair to any of us in the first place. You know, it wasn't fair to his family for him to have an affair. It wasn't fair to me to have him lie to me and make me think that everything is going to plan. And still to this day, I don't even know what's a lie and what's not. I don't even know if they were like filing for divorce. I don't know if they were putting the house up. I don't even know anymore what is real and what is not. But what I do know is it's just like, you know, that wasn't fair to me either, because if I'd have known not even all the truth, but like obviously some of it, I wouldn't have even engaged in any of this in the first place. And it just, I mean, and that's the part for me, just like on my personal level, outside of everything that is happening, that is gonna affect me long term. It's like, you know, I'm gonna wake up every day and know that like this mom and her unborn child and these two little girls are not around anymore, and it breaks my heart. It is, oh my god. And then I have to think about like the consequences of his actions and how they affect everybody else. Like all of these, her family's impacted. My name is about to be like slandered for probably a while. I don't know how long it's going to take to heal, but I would not be surprised if it's going to be hard to go in public sometimes for a couple of years. And that really hurts me. I'm just like, this is a horrible, horrible thing. Like, how dare you, you know? And people aren't going to understand that. You know, they're going to say, oh, you know, you're the woman that had an affair with this man who took out his whole family. And I take a step back and it's just like, I didn't know. Like, it's, he's so disgusting. I'm so ashamed of him and everything. And I just, oh, those little girls. They're so little. They're so little.
We talked a little bit earlier about getting some help for these things, and we can provide that.
Okay.
At really no cost. Through the state.
One more we just want to make sure there's resolution.
Absolutely.
That's why we come to you guys to
Yeah.
pound it down
Hey,
until there's
I'm
nothing left.
sorry that you're talking again today. I really am. I don't want to put you through any more trauma than you've already been through. There is reasons for everything that we're doing today and what occurred. And I'm sorry. I genuinely am sorry. These are not things that we like to do twice. It's the same thing with other types of victims from other crimes. We want to do it once and we want to be done. Unfortunately, we didn't know yesterday what we know today, and that's why we're here, because we need this video. And I am sorry, because I know it's hard to talk about it.
But it's so sad, and she's pregnant.
And you know what? On our end, we didn't.
And they're so cute. They're so little. Like, why? Why? How? I don't even understand how you could like bring yourself to do that to somebody who's like that big. Oh, Jesus.
Take a minute. Do you want to step out for a minute?
No, I just need to chill with my eyes closed for a sec. I still cannot believe this is happening. Alright, let's keep going, because we're just getting to like the meat of this whole situation.
Let's get to the phone call on Saturday from 9 to 11. What did you guys, or pardon me, on Sunday
We should
from 9
end
to
it
11?
here before you get to
Yeah,
the
we
phone
talked
call.
a few times. So, Sunday, I think so.
I can't hear
you.
you.
Do anything.
Take a couple breaths and take a second.
Sunday night. I don't even know. I don't think I was like concerned about anything at that point.
You guys had had a nice meal the night before. You knew his wife was probably coming home late that evening.
Oh, you know what?
I still don't remember what we talked about. I like, honestly, like, we talk about so much random stuff. Like, it's so hard to pin.
Sorry, I just wanted to see how she transitions from crying to how it was. It was just, she was still just ending that. I just wanted to see how quickly she went from that to continue with what she was going. Okay, so yeah, that's a good ending, definitely. So what do you guys think? Like, we all heard that a million times, but to actually see it, is it what you expected? Do you feel like it was real? I know from feeling it, I didn't feel anything watching it. I know that's horrible to say, but usually they say, like, if it's sincere, you'll actually feel it, but it doesn't hold true all the time. I mean, I guess I felt a little bit, but I didn't feel like probably what I should have felt. If that was, what did you think, Bella? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so I feel that she's being honest. I feel and when before the video, hearing this for the last 3 years, I didn't think she was honest. Seeing her on tape, I do believe, from what I know to be, as much as I can gather about her baseline, if you guys have been here for the first version of this and for the last 3 hours, I kind of explained her baseline and where she holds her negative, I mean, not all of her baseline, but where she holds her negative thoughts and her feelings and where she holds her positive thoughts and her feelings, what she typically does when she's lying. But for me, I feel like it's very congruent. I didn't expect it to be. I'm actually floored. I was looking for deception. Again, I'm going to watch this another probably 2 times to be able to say 100% my opinion on it. But so far, I feel that she's actually sincere, whether that is she's sincere in the fact that her life is over. She's sincere in the fact that Shanann's life is over. Cece's life is over. Bella's life is over. Nico's life is over. In hindsight, her 2020 view of this relationship is she's not into it anymore. So the whole thinking that Nicole was writing him in prison, she's not into him at this point. She's not into him anymore. Whether she is into him a month after this interview, I'm not sure. But at the point of this interview, she is not into him. That was a surprise to me. In her negative space, she knows that the affair, which with other things that she's done previous to this, I didn't think that she would hold the affair and call it the affair in her negative space. I'm shocked to see that. Saturday is in her negative space. And again, with North Carolina in her negative space and Chris going to North Carolina. But yes, the transition, I think when part 3 will cover that a little bit more.
There was kind of 2 times she transitioned out of it kind of quick, I noticed. But yeah, I just feel like she was forcing it. I don't feel like she was lying necessarily, but I feel like she was almost forcing. It was like extra dramatic. Like she added more than probably what it was. Like she really, like that dramatic, like, what do you call it? Like that part where she, well, let me think of how to word this correctly. Because I see where you're coming from. Like, I do feel like that she is upset, yes, but I feel like she overdid it a little bit. And it was a little bit of acting, but not the fact that she was lying about it, but just the fact that she was trying to make it a little bit more than maybe what she was really feeling, in my opinion. But no, I don't think she was lying, like, because I personally don't think that well, you know how I feel about her. But so yeah, I'm just seeing what everybody else is thinking. It looks like there's a mixture. More people are saying not sincere, overacting a little bit. But I don't think it was all fake, but it was just overly done. I feel like it was a little bit too much. Like she pushed it a little bit too much, where it was like came across like that it was whatever.
But I feel that she's red in the face. Fake crying is a lot. When you're fake crying, you do a lot of this stuff where you're like pushing on your tear ducts and your hands are usually like this. She's doing this, and there's got to be tears because I would think that Kovac.
I'm not saying the crying is fake. I'm saying she's over
dramatizing,
like overdoing it. Like she didn't have to go that like there's a couple parts I could probably point out. Maybe we'll start it with the next one where I feel like she's just like, it's that part's a little bit overacting, but I feel like the more subtle parts were real, like the crying and just that. But then when she overdid it a little bit, so that's what kind of ruined it, because I was starting to get a little emotional, and then when she went like over the top, I started to kind of lose it a little bit. But we didn't know that the dad stood up and comforted her like that. You know, we couldn't see any of that. I don't know what I was I picturing their dad? I guess a little bit, but not as much as what I saw there. I didn't picture.
I was picturing Kobach.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
maybe. Hold on a second.
Because I feel like that on her shoulder, I was picturing Kobach on her leg.
On her leg?
Like
really?
That like leaning over, like it's okay. Well, investigators touch
the leg of a woman, though? I don't know.
Maybe. Now there's no women in there; it's all men. But I guess it would have been inappropriate. So it's good Dwayne was there to get up and hug her.
Yes, exactly. That's kind of what Bella, you were saying. Like she's crying. She could be crying for herself, not for the murder. She's crying that her life and her dream job ends. But I mean, I think she does have a little bit of sadness for the kids, because how she kind of probably not Shanann as much, but she was flirting with the investigators every time. Really? I didn't get any flirting on this one yet. Huh. Wow, I didn't get that. Not yet, at least. Okay, so what we're going to do, the next one, we're going to start out with that again. So we'll give us some time to just kind of let that sink in, and then I'm going to rewind it when we do it next time, and we'll start with the beginning of this whole scene, right? Don't you think that's a good idea?
Yeah, and we don't know her baseline, you guys. We don't know what it is and how she calms herself down in normal situations. And maybe the way she does calm herself down is go, I just need to sit here for a few minutes and breathe. You know what I mean? And maybe we couldn't calm ourselves down that way. Some people bite the inside of their cheeks to get themselves from crying, or bite their tongues. She might have different coping mechanisms. I feel that there are a little things that are off with her. I think this is an incredible situation. I've never had much compassion for her. This video is a little interesting in that I see the lies. I know what she's lying about, but
yeah, I feel like overall this video is definitely, seeing it makes her look better than just hearing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, not what I expected from watching the first one, but it's tricky because the first one we don't get to see her face. You know, it's like we seeing her side the whole time.
Yeah,
but it's different because the dad's not in there, and so I think there is a lot more flirting in the next one, in the third one, because her dad's not. I think she does act different when her dad's there compared to not. I think she acts more real. It seems like she is acting more real when her dad's there, rather than, if you compare it to the third one, it's like she's more like flirting and just like almost like, I don't know, just
like a caricature.
Yes,
of a woman.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And with her dad there, her dad knows her, so she's, she's probably gonna. First of all, she probably feels more comfortable. She got that support. Second of all, her dad's there, so she's not gonna put on an act. It'll be harder. She wants to be herself, maybe, because her dad's gonna know. But no, I don't know. Should I rewind it? Everybody's telling me to rewind it, but I was going to start it with it. But I don't know if I should or not. What do you
we can. And yeah, somebody said it was 24 seconds. We can time it. I don't have my device.
What is why time it?
I don't know if it's like to see how long her cries, or like how long she composes herself, or how long in between. It's more like we can do that, but like a gut feeling of what you feel. And if you weren't here in the beginning, try it so hard, but to be objective, try to leave any emotions you've had about her and her being the other woman in this horrendous murder at the door, and just look at this and try to have your mirror neurons connecting with hers and see if you could feel something.
Like I said, I I would start to feel, and then she would ruin it by going over, and then I would start to feel a little bit. So it was like it was going back and forth, because then she would do something too much where it like sucked it back out of me. I don't know if that's a good way to describe it, but there was parts where it was almost like, oh, and then wait, and then oh. I describe things so weird. I'm sorry. That's all. I don't.
No, I read you. I think me and you are very
Yeah, but you know me. Everybody else maybe Nate. Hopefully they understand what.
First one's ready. Yes, ma'am or sir.
Okay, let's go. I don't know how far to put it back. What first one's ready? What?
First one. The one who's been our boss this
yeah.
evening.
All right, guys. One more time.
And we can provide that.
Oh, did I do it? Hold on, I didn't do it long enough. So it's definitely more than 24 seconds, because I've already put it back a couple minutes.
Maybe they meant in between, like to the get the composure going.
Okay.
If I'd have known, not even all the truth, but like obviously some of it, I wouldn't have even engaged in any of this in the first place. And it just, I mean, and that's the part for me, just like on my personal level, outside of everything that is happening, that is gonna affect me long term. It's like, you know, I'm gonna wake up every day and know that like this mom and her unborn child and these 2 little girls are not around anymore, and it breaks my heart. It is, oh my god. And then I have to think about like the consequences of his actions and how they affect everybody else. Like all of these, her family's impacted. My name is about to be like slandered for probably a while. I don't know how long that's going to take to heal, but I would not be surprised if it's going to be hard to go out in public sometimes for a couple of years. And that really hurts me. I'm just like, this is a horrible, horrible thing. Like, how dare you, you know? And people aren't going to understand that. You know, they're going to say, oh, you know, you're the woman that had an affair with this man who took out his whole family. And I take a step back and it's just like, I didn't know. Like, he's so disgusting. I'm so ashamed of him and everything. And I just, oh, those little girls. They're so little. They're so little.
We talked a little bit earlier about getting some help for these things, and we can provide that.
Okay.
At really no cost. Through the state.
One more. We just want to make sure there's resolution.
Absolutely.
That's why we come to you guys to pound it down until there's
I'm
nothing left.
sorry that you're talking again today. I really am. I don't want to put you through any more trauma than you've already been through. There is reasons for everything that we're doing today and what occurred. And I'm sorry. I genuinely am sorry. These are not things that we like to do twice. It's the same thing with other types of victims from other crimes. We want to do it once and we want to be done. Unfortunately, we didn't know yesterday what we know today, and that's why we're here, because we need this video. And I am sorry, because I know it's hard to talk about it. But
it's so sad, and she's pregnant.
And you know, on our end, we didn't.
And they're so cute. They're so little. Like, why? How? I don't even understand how you could like bring yourself to do that to somebody who's like that big. Oh, Jesus.
Take a minute. Do you want to step out for a minute?
No, I just need to chill with my eyes closed for a sec. I still cannot believe this is happening. Alright, let's keep going, because we're just getting to the meat of this whole situation.
Let's get to the phone call on Saturday from 9 to 11. What did you guys, or pardon me, on Sunday from 9 to 11.
Yeah, we talked a few times. So Sunday, I think so. I need to think. I can't even think.
Take a couple breaths and take a second.
Sunday night. I don't even know. I don't think I was like concerned about anything at that point.
You guys had had a nice meal the night before. You knew his wife was probably coming home late that evening.
Oh, you know what? I still don't remember what we talked about. I like, honestly, like, we talk about so much random stuff. Like, it's so hard to pinpoint some of these things. I don't remember what we talked about. I do remember that was a long phone conversation, though. We probably talked about all sorts of stuff. One thing I do remember, though, that I didn't remember earlier when I was talking to Mark. So this is like where I'm starting to remember like little bits and pieces. I don't remember. Yeah, I know. So the phone conversation. I don't remember what was in the phone conversation. Probably nothing of relevance, to be honest with you. But usually he talks to me when he's like down in the basement in his bed before he goes to bed and before I go to bed. And I could hear the TV on, which I thought was kind of weird. I didn't ask him. I just heard it in the background. And I remember thinking, and it was like right before we got off the phone, I was like, why the hell is he up? And there's like no TV downstairs. So I was like, well, maybe, I don't know.
So no TV in the basement where he usually calls you from?
Yeah, and I don't know how.
Okay. All right. Well, what do you guys think? Yeah, I don't know. The second time even I saw more right. I didn't believe it as much. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some parts that kind of are like believable, but then most of it I found more parts that aren't than that are.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean like I'm not saying that I think that because I think she murdered them or anything. No, I just think it's because first of all, you notice when she started getting emotional is when she said her life was about to be ruined, and that's when she started getting kind of choked up. And
Yeah.
I guess we'll just I don't know what that means, but I guess we'll continue it when.
And I think she's a strange woman. Just not like because of what she did, but I think that she herself, there's something, so I think that, again, baseline's important. So it'll probably take 3 watches, and I don't know if I want to, like, I can't with her. You guys, it is difficult to, have an opinion about somebody for so long and then have to cleanse yourself of that opinion and try to be very unbiased when you look at something. And yeah. Yes. Are you muted? How'd you mute yourself over there?
Oh no, I didn't even know I did mute myself. Obviously, I'm over here talking. But thanks, guys. Like I said, next time we'll probably get into it a little bit quicker because I kind of had a little. We got into it a little bit late because I wanted to explain the pings. So look out for that video, guys, because I'm going to do my best job to explain it. I'm going to cover it the whole month before the phone calls, with the whole month before, and kind of just put it into a nice little pre-recorded. Because it's the one thing that everybody keeps going back to about why they cannot, why they think she was there that morning. And then I think because of that, then they're seeing these heavily pixelated things. Now, don't get me wrong. I've got sent things that people have sent me that look like things. It looks like that. The one thing looks like NK's holding a kid, and she's got it like holding it like where maybe like it looks like maybe she's holding Bella and she has her arms around her, and it's like, whoa, that does look like it. So I found exactly the spot where it was at, and it's all explainable. I did a couple videos on explaining, so you can see things in it, and it's crazy. But then you got to go back and see where is that from. And the thing is when I went back and you look to the next couple frames, you see, like, let's say you do like 2 frames over or whatever, you'll see that outline. It's because the way that the tree looks and the lights and stuff, as Chris is moving, you will see that image of where you saw Bella, like around her. And it's because it's the outline of the trees mixed with him on top of it. It makes it look like that. And you could see where it comes from as he moved. You could be like, Wow, that's why it looks like that when he's in front of it. Same with the ponytail, where everybody saw her ponytail. It's the same thing, and it's like that's why I call it a floating ponytail, because when Chris or NK moves, you still see that the outline of the ponytail, because it's when he's in front of it, it kind of does look like it on top of it, and then when he moves, you see where that all came from. So it's all explainable. It looks if you just look at the screenshots, yeah, they look like things, but go back and really examine it, and it's not what it seems to be. I'm telling you, it really isn't. I've tried so many screenshots. People used to send me so many things, and I looked at every single one of them, and every single one of them, in my opinion, were nothing but just the way that the outlines of the trees and the lights and the shadows all made it look like it when somebody was standing, right in it, or whether, depending on what it was. I'm explaining things where it's when Chris is right there, like with the ponytail but there's other things I think people saw, like
the boots, when Chris is barefoot versus not barefoot, so it looks like NK walking out of the house, because the pants look different, the walk is completely different. That's what I believe.
I've showed it a couple years ago, and people still don't buy it. Or I don't know, they're still saying it, so I don't know. I guess they're not. Yeah. I mean, think about how different you would walk being barefoot with, jeans on, compared to like having boots on, compared to having gym shoes on. I mean, you're going to walk different. And what else?
Baby Boss says
there's
purse.
explanations for everything, but I know you guys really want her to be there for some reason, but I just don't think she is, guys.
I really wanted her to be there. Thanks, Mint Shoes. Yes, please do that, you guys.
Maybe it was mine, Christina, because I did a couple videos debunking it. Was it mine? You know what, though? I did mine in the middle. I always wanted to do a short one, but I did mine in the middle of long lives, those ones, and I'm really upset I never ended up doing it again. I think, didn't I?
Well, you should have put it into its own.
I know, and I meant to. I always said I was going to do it, and then I just never did. Because
well, here you go. You're going to make it into a.
Now the jeans one, I did it in a pre-recorded, but the ponytail I did it in the middle of a live, and I said I was going to redo it, and then I don't know, yeah. Anyway, but yeah, and I know there's that thing with the purse and stuff. I just.
First one, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. She's going to do that.
Oh, I already did. Video. Oh, I did it at the beginning of this, but wait for my pre-recorded, because I'm going to really do a better one, because I didn't do fully. But that's the easiest one to explain. Well, they're all pretty easy, but
first one. I hope you're subbed, since we love you so much. But I saw KLM.
Where?
She's in here. Hi, KLM, miss you.
Hey, KLM.
I put her up, but then Ashley Leith, hello. Good night, Michelle. Oh, there's KLM.
Yay, KLM.
Dang.
So pretty disbelief shot. Wow. All right, so I'm speculating. I never know who you're talking to, Trish, but I don't know. Did I speculate?
Maybe it's not us. Okay, everybody. Thank you guys so much. We're gonna
go, but look out for part 3. I don't know when you want to do that, but we need to do them all by this week. I mean, I want to get them all done before the end of the week. If you can. I think it's important. You know what I'm saying? To get them done, right?
Yeah. I agree.
Still here, and I'll probably, hopefully, I have another. I'm pretty much already done with that. Yeah, hopefully, I'll be able to get that ping one out by tomorrow. Hopefully, okay. Thanks, Crochet Bammy.
We love you, Bammy.
Yeah. All right, bye, everybody.
You guys, positive energy. We thank you guys for being here. That's the best. That's the best positive. I'm telling you, StreamYard.
StreamYard. Wait, what?
Because I went, that's the best, because that's really the side of them.
Oh, wait. So, yeah. I never even do it like that. Do it. Here. Do it. You know what? I should create a background where it makes this big cloud. Oh, it kind of is, though.
How? It is?
No, I'm saying
Oh,
cut.
bubbles. Okay, guys.
Bye, everybody. It was fun. Val, you're like, okay, let's get this done. We're done.
With my right hand. Is that
Okay,
my
guys.
right
Yep,
hand?
we'll be back. We'll be back. First one, I'm gonna make that video soon, and I don't know. Yeah, we'll be back.
Ouch.
Bye,
Yeah.
everybody.
I'm gonna hurt myself.